there's apparently a guild that's
Yeah,
entirely set
from
up being the
Agent Dawn.
Stormwind Guard.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, it was actually back in the day. It was also existing when
Yep.
Classic was. But
They're going to have such a pain in the ass getting the Imperial plate set. Because one
yeah, I
of the
remember it was
pieces
a
is a
thing.
recipe that drops from a one. You know, in Blackrock Depths, the arena, there's a random boss that comes out. Only one of the bosses there dropped the
Well,
recipe
they only
for
need
one of
then
the
one that
pieces.
can create it. The others can just get the
Yeah,
stuff.
the first guy that gets that recipe is going to get rich.
Well, I mean, if they ask for money.
They will.
It's a pretty decent set, so I think they'll sell it on the auction house and get a lot of gold.
Oh, get on the action, yes, but I mean in the guild itself.
Mm.
We'll probably discount it.
Here we see
Or
Well,
just
I
the
mean,
do it for
WoW
mats.
nerd in
back in the
their
day when I
natural
played
element of
Classic,
sharing
there were some people
war
that,
stories.
I mean, in the guild that just gave me free stuff. I mean, it's not happened.
Yeah, we do the same for our guild. We're trading trade materials back and forth.
Yeah, I back in the day when Embrace was actually active. I mean, we had a whole section in the guild bank that was just, you can give others things you don't need anymore, and they can just use it.
Yeah. I'm setting up a character next to a bank.
You can call him Guild Bank.
Because
That's back in the day you needed a bank because there was no place to store it so much.
Yeah, and there was always a designated guild bank character. So if
I
someone
always
decided to be a dick and run off with the guild
with
bank,
all the things. Yeah, always was wondering if someday someone will actually do that. Just kind of go, fuck this, I'm out.
but no, I'm gonna set up a bank character that's gonna be probably just make a human. Because that's the only place that's got the bank and the auction house right next to each other for the Alliance. That I can remember.
No, Ironforge is the best city to be in.
I'm not sure. It's actually, I think, a bigger distance.
Yeah, slightly bigger distance, yes. Fuck. Shit. No!
What?
He's on level 14 bears! No! No!
You're dead.
Don't you stand there, guys! Let's see. That's a 5-minute corpse run. But yeah, distances between the Stormwind and Ironforge banks and auction houses are roughly the same. But dungeon access wise, Ironforge is in the best location.
Well, I mean, but it's a guild bank. Why do you need it to be close to a dungeon?
No, but to set your Hearthstone personally and stuff like that.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for now, until I level to a decent level, it will be wherever I am at.
Question.
I mean, what zone I am.
Yep. Someone said they were gonna head down to Stranglethorn Vale whilst they were in Teldrassil yesterday.
I'm planning on
I
going to the Barrens.
You're
where
a
I'm
brave man.
I'm on a RP realm. What do I care?
It's true. Still.
I'm not going to walk into their town. I'm just going to use Ratchet and go to the hidden pools. I want those fish.
Ah, those deviate fish.
Yeah, it's great for RP.
Well, in caverns.
Wait, did I get 2 other players killed too?
Wow.
Some guy just whispered me, "You are the absolute worst scum I've ever seen on this server."
Oh, why? What did you do?
Well, I aggroed one level 14 bear and didn't see it was 14 until my pet died, and I was like, wait, that's not right. That shouldn't happen. But he's level 17. How can a level 14 bear kill him?
Well, I mean,
Surprise bear.
it's strong.
Yeah,
Also, how
I'm
did you
on.
die if it's level so long, low
I'm
level?
level 11, so
How did your
the
bear level
bear was
higher than you?
chasing me, and as I was running into the camp to see if the NPCs would help me, another bear decided to join the party.
I mean, you had a. Did you bear it?
No, I actually find it literally unbearable.
So now you have a mortal enemy.
No, the NPCs in the camp finally decided to kill the bears just after I died, so I actually got the kill count for it.
Oh, nice.
And I got to skin them even better.
I actually took skinning as well.
My food
Yep.
isn't.
That's what I'm gonna pick up as soon as I actually go find the freaking dude in the big tree.
But the thing that you should be careful about is remember there's not a lot of money on classic that you earn.
Yep.
Okay, I'm starting to see a problem here.
What they are ganking?
This quest. I was trying to rush my way towards a quest to get a gun, since the quest is only for level 11. But I just looked at the quest. It's in an area surrounded by level 16 stuff, and it's a timed 15-minute quest to kill 6 level 16 birds.
I
Why
mean,
is it
it's
for level
it's
11?
plausible. It's probably a group quest.
No, it's not. That's the problem.
So
Might
it's
be a
not
bug.
listed as a group quest, but it's acting like a group quest.
Definitely is acting like one. I'm just going to go the other way.
No, no, no. Keep doing it until you finish it. I mean, you will level by the time you finish it.
No, 6 kills is not exactly. There's a chest down there in that area with actual elites in it. No, let's not go down. Ah, Vanilla, how delightfully dangerous you are. How long is this bird going to chase me?
Um,
You
a
know what
good
else is
2 minutes.
dangerous? D&D.
We're not.
It's actually not
It
time
No, we're
yet,
is.
you
not.
know.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
You're not wrong though.
You broke it. There you go. You broke it. You're fired, man. You're fired.
Hey, I thought it was a good segue. That's why I thought.
Well, I mean, but
We don't
you need to look at the
use.
time.
Yeah, we don't do segues that are good on this show.
Yeah, you need to find a bad segue, and then we will accept it.
Speaking of bad segues.
Jesus Christ.
Are you in a hurry somewhere? Do we need to know about it?
No, I was literally, like I said, I just thought it was kind of a good fit, so I thought I'd try. I never
No,
make
I'm just
segues,
asking.
so I thought I'd give it a go.
Well, you managed
Well-
to do it. You just failed to do it on time.
Yeah, a bit too early.
Yep, just 10 minutes too early. So, how was your day?
Horrible.
Why?
No,
Lack of
wow.
sleep and horrible customers.
Well, I mean, there's an easy way to deal with customers. Buy an axe and take it to work. Believe me, after you show the axe, no one will bother you.
I can't show customers my axe. Just say it.
Sure, you can. I mean, you just put it on the wall, very beautifully, just behind you.
I,
There's
Uh,
no
I,
threat
I
to
would
it.
like to point out that is not true. You can show them because you have access to their email addresses.
True.
Well,
There you go.
I mean, technically,
It's
I
not
suppose.
illegal. I mean, do you need a license to carry an axe? I'm not sure you can actually get a license for that.
I don't think there is a license for an axe.
There
You
you
just gotta be
go.
a certain age.
I mean, why?
No,
I
Because
think
well,
every
there's
kid should
stupid
go with
kids
an
out
axe.
there who will cut their foot off.
well,
I mean, then
actually,
they will.
it
After
also
that, they
depends
will
on the
learn.
It depends on the axe. It depends on the location and whether and if it's
I mean, in the
in a
United
city.
States,
The blade can't
the
be
United States,
longer
they
than 2
allow
inches.
they allow guns, so an axe is not that bad. I mean, how many people can you kill until someone shoots you?
Have you not seen the most popular horror movies, man?
Hey, you
They
have
are
no
not-
right to ask him that.
I'm just going to say this: when did you last? I mean, did you actually check how quick a bullet moves compared to an axe? I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
Considering,
but most
someone can shoot you before
considering,
you can chop someone's
sure,
head.
but considering very few of the cops actually carry guns, you can
Well,
get quite a
that's
few
their
done
problem.
before.
That's a weird thing about the UK. I don't understand that part where the people that should be wearing a gun don't wear a gun, but okay.
it's not really strictly necessary. Well, it never used to be strictly necessary
I
most of
mean,
the time.
people try
Yeah,
to murder each other,
I
then you
mean,
need to call someone else. Oh, okay, I can't deal with this. Someone has a gun.
no, but
Yeah, but as
it
time's
it
gone
should
on, it's become necessary. It's kind of becoming more necessary.
it should go back to the time when cops only carried a whistle and a baton. And that's it.
Yes,
And they would
those were the time.
and
And
they
the
would
musket.
go around twirling the baton as they walked.
I think they should also go with a musket. You know how funny it would be to see a cop trying to load up their musket.
Hey, don't underestimate the musket, man. Muskets can do
I'm
a
not
lot of
underestimating
damage.
I don't underestimate the musket. I'm underestimating the time it would take for the cop to get it shooting.
True.
1 moment, I'm almost done.
Oh, remind me,
Don't
guys,
run
if you ever
away.
come to the UK, remind me to take you to Leeds because there's this huge museum full of weapons, like medieval weaponry.
Is that
Uh,
the Royal Arsenal?
Possibly. I can't remember the name,
Isn't
but
that
yeah.
in
Did you rob it?
Leeds?
I can't remember. I only remember visiting it, and oh boy, I enjoyed it. Especially seeing an actual official gun. Well, not gunblade in the sense of Final Fantasy VIII Squall's gunblade, but gunblade
A
all the same.
proper gun blade.
Yeah.
Not an
Actual
overly
Royal
elaborate thing.
But seriously, what's wrong with taking an axe to work?
I can't take an axe into work.
Why? No one will ask you, do you carry an axe? Everyone asks, do you carry
Hang
a
on,
gun?
let me private message you because this isn't really something I could. Hang on.
Oh, it's the Royal Armories Museum. Where's the Royal Arsenal then?
There's no Royal Arsenal. They broke it. Yeah, well, I mean, that's more fun.
Well, that's just
No!
I mean, there are more places that you don't need to lie because when they ask you, do you have a gun? No, I have an axe.
No! Just no.
Do you carry a weapon? Yes, it's an axe.
Just no.
My fists are certified weapons, sir.
Just look at these
Actually-
guns.
But yeah.
Do you carry a weapon? No, let me ask you a question.
Well,
I mean, speaking of carrying rights, I
Axes.
hope you take a look at the picture I sent in Discord about the legal code of Waterdeep.
I was reading the crimes and the sentences.
Oof. What did he?
Yeah. Oof.
Should I be concerned?
Yes. I mean, at least Sepp isn't gonna be here.
Oh dear God.
mean-
I would like to point out I am here.
I haven't read it yet, so
Yeah.
Waterdeep is the California of America.
So
Rules,
you can smoke there.
restrictions, laws that make zero sense but are all over the place.
So you can
No.
smoke weed there.
I mean, let's be honest. Most of these do make sense.
It's just inconvenient.
Yeah, like
wait, let's see.
impersonation of a lord, impersonation of a magister, forgery of an official document.
So that's a good thing we don't have Silic for two of those. unfortunately, we still have Torm for one of those.
Theft, vandalism, or arson against the palace or any part of the city walls.
Excuse
Okay,
me,
that's
I
my
don't
fault. That's
arson.
more my thing with arson. But okay.
Impersonation of a guardsman or officer of the watch.
Repetition of any minor or lesser offense.
But does killing an official count as an offense?
I mean,
Yes.
kind of
Blast-
does.
Unlawful observation or copying of an official document. Assault upon any sitting officer who is acting in the line of duty.
I mean, even if we got caught, we can always kill the official that caught us, and then there's no
Oh
witness.
wow, this is gonna be a never-ending cycle.
Oh, you saw it as well. Okay.
Let's see, which of these would actually concern SR, probably?
A lot of them.
Probably 50% of them at least.
Unlawful flight intrusion.
Why am I a flight?
I don't know. Maybe if you somehow manage to fly.
Well, I mean, I do have a potion of it.
Vagrancy, littering,
Oh, actually, I don't have the potion anymore.
You use that potion.
I
brandish,
have no idea what vagrancy is.
loitering, basically.
Yeah, basically living on the streets.
Homelessness.
Mm.
Brandishing a weapon dangerously or threateningly without due cause.
That would be Drake.
Oh, there's
Without
one.
due cause.
Yeah. There's one for home. Dangerous operation of a coach, wagon, litter, or other conveyance.
Where did you put it?
It's in
Hey.
Discord. It's a picture.
Hey,
Oh, you didn't actually. Okay, I thought it's.
I mean,
in
it
the
doesn't
Roll
have the
20.
second page of these.
Home's not that bad a driver.
I mean,
Let's not start rolling skill checks for that, please.
Then there's for Drake, defiling of a holy place.
okay. If Tia or Tom was involved, maybe Tia mostly. But I mean, as long as you keep him away from Tia,
Theft of temple goods or offerings. Tomb
Drake's not gonna
robbing.
steal them. We don't. We
I
have we
guess
really robbed-
tomb robbing would probably be more for you know,
It's not me.
Midrash. And then again for Drake, assault upon a priest or lay worshipper. Public
Again, tyrants.
public blasphemy of a god or priesthood.
Tyrants.
Great.
Tio,
Yes.
is it supposed to be this small? Because. Oh, okay.
You
I
have
can
you
see.
kind of have to open the original if you
Yeah.
want to be able to read it.
But I can. The first one is actually small even when I opened the original,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so I
Yeah,
can't
and you
actually read it.
zoom in like a motherfucker.
Doom
Yeah,
is your friend.
The first picture was just to show you how tiny this goddamn book is. Oh, there's another for SR. Magical assault.
I didn't assault anyone.
And
They
there's
were in the
also
way.
excessive noise.
I didn't do that much noise.
And just for Liam, assault on livestock.
Assault on
That is for
livestock.
Liam.
Not the not even Drake, just you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. Jeez.
I think he
I mean,
likes
oh, Obsid's here too.
Yeah, but he's Scottish.
Yeah, but I'm from Edinburgh, not Aberdeen, so there's a difference. There's only one Scottish city that does that.
There's also slavery, which is a criminal offense.
I mean,
So me and Midrash are fucked.
the the Wales people and Scotsmen have this kind of synergy about them, don't they? The Wales people have fun with the sheep, and then the Scotsmen eat the intestines.
It's actually Welsh, by the way, but just yeah.
Welsh.
The whales.
Well,
like
I
his-
mean, not
The
saying you're
Walish.
small.
I think I missed something in the conversation.
No, he was referring to Welsh people as Wales people. The correct term's Welsh.
So
The
you're a
Welshman.
whale.
Excuse me.
You're excused. There you go. See?
Well,
mean-
my food is done, and I'm out of the game. Perfect.
Fantastic. Just in time to jump into the merry world of D&D.
I thought last session was really good.
Sorry, allegedly. Let's see if the cameras are broken again. They're
Aren't
not.
they always?
Huzzah!
No, they look fine.
But Chris is missing.
He's run away.
That's what happens when you mess with the cameras. Then Chris runs away.
To eat fish balls.
So aside from reindeer, what kind of meat can you eat in Finland?
Bear.
Bear?
Hmm. If the
What's that
time
like?
is right. I haven't tasted bear actually, but I know
Oh, okay.
a few restaurants where you can get them. Could be a
Can you
bit of a ride
get
though.
bear balls? Because I saw it in Belgium.
Hmm.
They actually had that as a option.
Maybe. There's one restaurant which kind of specializes on selling basically all bits
Balls.
of bear when the culling season is in effect anyway.
Are bears culled very often?
Only around winter.
Once a year. I'm not sure what time exactly it is.
The amount of fucking my current Twitch recommended World of Warcraft, World of Warcraft, World of Warcraft, World of Warcraft, World of Warcraft.
You don't say.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird how that happens.
I know, right? It's almost like it's telling you.
Almost.
Life is but a part.
Oopsie, I know it.
Je te plumerai.
Speaking of people fleeing the scene, let's go back to Red Larch.
Red Lord!
I mean, you're missing a good 50% of us. So.
What else is new? I don't know what you're doing half the time anyway.
Working, sleeping, gaming on the rare occasion.
I was talking about sessions, but I guess that would work in session as well.
Wait, he did all that during the session? That's kind of
You'd be
amazing.
surprised.
Look at those yummy fish balls.
I mean, now makes sense why you're sometimes not completely focused. There you go.
Look at that crazy snake.
Mm.
Crazy! What is he doing?
Climbing. He loves climbing.
You should put some branches in.
No, because he's terrible at climbing, and he can actually break his spine by falling, and he falls all the time.
What kind of snake is that?
A ground snake who's confused.
Ground snake was confused.
And speaking of snakes rising to the occasion, I
That's
believe
good one,
Midrash
actually.
has a 8. I haven't marked down anything as to immediate concerns or events you wanted to do at the start of this session, so
I think we're just waiting for
yeah, you're basically waiting for the
wagon.
cart at this point, I suppose.
Yeah,
That's
we
it.
had some very
And then strange
im-
things keep happening.
I didn't do nothing.
Is the
For
fan
once.
actually hitting my microphone?
Nope.
No.
No.
But if you
Excellent.
want, I can do.
No, I bought a new microphone.
Oh.
Hmm.
It looks weird.
Did you get the snowball
It,
then?
it's super weird. Yeah, snowball. But my fan is like right there because I actually enjoyed breezing my. Now you can probably hear it.
Can I just point out how weird it is that the company name is Blue, but they don't actually manufacture blue microphones?
That does seem
Yeah.
a bit odd.
They do have one blue microphone, but that's the Yeti,
Hmm.
It's our premium microphone.
and it's like it's like 150 to 200 pound.
Oh, that
You're
looks
kidding.
good. Oh, Jesus.
Why would you pay that much for a mic?
It's a studio microphone.
Oh,
I mean, if you want good audio.
That's why I decided to go for this the snowball because it's low enough that I'm not wasting too much, and also if I wanted something better, I'd get an actual XLR microphone with like a back and stuff like that for almost the same price, just slightly higher.
Unless you go toner and get yourself even cheaper, and it's XLR.
No, I looked at the toner. It's still about 100 kroner more than this.
Is it?
Yeah.
There must be a sale on the frigging balls then.
The blue snowball cost me 300 kroner.
Okay.
There's
yeah,
two
that's-
models of the blue snowball. There's the blue snowball, and then there's the blue snowball ice, which is the cheaper variant.
Yeah, this is the ice.
The literal difference between the two of them is the snowball has an adjustable. The legs on it are adjustable height. The snowball ice is a set height. That's it. That's the only difference.
How many legs does it have?
3. So on the snowball, that leg portion, you can adjust the height up and down. On the ice, you can't.
I mean, you can just, if you're good with workshops, you can actually make it yourself.
But hey, I mean, this is still a cardio decent mic compared to this shit that I've been using so far.
Mm.
This is $3, maybe $4.
Oh god, yeah. Anywho,
Speaking of $4,
speaking of cheaping out,
I believe that was
Nanny?
for you, Liam.
I didn't. I missed that. Speaking
I'm
of
joking.
what, cheaping out.
I'm joking. That was a joke.
don't worry about it. So, while you are waiting for the cart, spending time in the lovely town of Red Lodge, mostly at the inn,
Pretty much.
Midrash, I believe, in the late afternoon, or actually early evening, I suppose it was, you have a visitor to the inn. Well, not so much a visitor as she just kind of arrives at the inn and hangs around at the like main floor, waiting for you.
Yeah, I did say I have to finish the ritual for the day before I could join her, so
Mhm.
it's very nice of her to offer me to use her bath. So.
Yeah. I mean, she has spent the the hours in between um, boiling
Procrastinating.
water.
Cleaning her house, tidying up a bit, trying to make the best impression.
Hiding her underwear.
No, wait, she's a Sunite. That should already be done.
Yeah.
So,
Wanna stand her up?
we're going straight into this, huh?
Mm-hmm. While you're eating your fish balls, yes.
Yes, what better time than when I'm eating my fish balls
Mm-hmm.
and sweating my face off because it's still 30 cents. Yes, wait,
A bath will help
I
with
mean,
that.
fish balls are
Ah.
good even when they're cold.
Yeah, but the sun is down now, so I'm just gonna quickly go and open my door.
Mhm.
Maybe it'll start cooling down.
Towards the early evening, where would the rest of you guys be? Would you be in your rooms?
I believe I'm in my room.
We know
believe-
Tom's SR's in his room.
Yeah, I am in my room.
All right.
He's got that candle.
I'm
Oh,
enjoying
yeah.
a candle.
He's yipping like a
Nobody's taking
kobold.
that candle.
Yup, that's mine.
I'll be in my room studying the Draconic for Dummies.
Sure.
I guess I'll be trying to make heads or tails of the primordial.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So from one,
hint, there's no heads and no tails in the primordial.
so,
You'd be surprised.
so at one point during the late afternoon, one of the the innkeeper actually walks past the doors and kind of pauses at the first door when he hears like magical incantations from the other side, and then shakes his head, goes to the next one, and starts hearing something about a candle. And then walks to the next and hears like someone trying to imitate fire crackling. And then the fourth one of someone just kind of sounding like they're coughing up phlegm. And
And then he thinks
and an
it's gonna be
occasional
one of those nights.
and an occasional no, Zerdril.
That's true.
No, you can't eat that.
That's
Can't
my
eat
bowl.
that either. That's a chair.
That's the nightstand.
The innkeep makes a mental tally of how much damage this drink is gonna do.
And then there's just like, ow, that's my hand!
It's not time for food yet. Go lie down.
Oh.
So, Midrash, you finish up your ritual, and I suppose then you start heading down?
Well, yeah. And he's not going to do anything, freshen himself up. After all, that's the purpose of visiting that house.
Of course. Yeah. Are you taking Emidus with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm leaving the squad to guard
Guard the
the cauldron with the egg in, I'm currently guessing.
Mm-hmm.
What are
Since
exactly
it's-
the orders? I'm just wondering.
The orders are to... If anyone enters the room, they will be pushed back outside. If they re-enter the room, they will be attacked.
We're lucky that SR is currently in his room and can't get out.
Housekeeping.
I'm sure housekeeping will take the hint after they're pushed out the first time.
Hello.
If
mean,
not,
housekeeping.
then well, no.
Housekeeping,
No.
hello. Go change your sheets.
No, no lemon
I mean,
pledge.
it must be just so weird for people to get into your room and just see 4 people standing around an egg.
Yeah, they're standing on a cauldron with a giant egg in it, and they're making this perfect square around it.
So the exact wording is that if someone enters the room, right?
If someone enters the room, the first
Twice.
time that person enters the room, they will be shoved back out.
Mm-hmm.
The second time the same individual enters the room, that individual will be attacked.
Sure. So
Rooms
while
offer privacy.
while Midrash is gone, housekeeping just opens the door and sees all of these guys standing there, and just stares at them for like 5 minutes before closing the door again without ever entering the room.
I mean,
Here's
it's
an.
it must be a sight to kind of enter the room and see 4 people just standing there.
I have a interesting question actually.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take to get to her house? Approximately, not as if I've actually gone there. And also, can I be casting this spell while I'm in the bath? Just confirm that it's actually possible to do it. Just need to find the spell first.
Are you going to use the thingy with the water?
No, I'm gonna make another eye.
On the way.
Maybe on the way, depending on how long it takes.
You and these eyes, man.
Yeah, I mean, I want to keep an eye out.
It'll
Quite
take
literally.
you about a minute or two to get to her house.
Yeah, so it's not. Well, I'm not gonna start it going there. But seeing as how the cast time is 1 hour, which is why I'm asking about the doing it while taking a bath, basically.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Just making sure it's possible to do it. Otherwise, I need to prepare it differently.
Mm-hmm. Sure, you can
In that
fake her out
case,
during the during the bath.
Yeah, I mean a 1 hour bath. That's the least you can expect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's a
good
scales are very tricky to get clean,
Mm-hmm.
and you gotta polish them a bit once in a while too. And the lavender oils
don't you
tends to
worry. Oh, don't you worry. You'll be spending quite a bit of time there. So you.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna polish your scales.
So he.
A very specific amount of scales will be polished though.
Today's stream, we will be learning about the phenomenon called the cloaca.
So
This is when
you.
a male dragon and a female of another
No.
kind.
No, a cloaca is a orifice. Don't get ahead of yourself here.
Okay.
So you walk down the steps into the main hall of the inn, and you see the Sunite priest sitting around, and immediately as she sees you, she jumps up and takes a couple of steps towards you, and then crouches down. You see Emidus kind of looking up at you, and then to her, and then back up to you.
Yeah, the reaction is returned to Emidus. Like,
She is currently like patting her thighs, like, come on, boy.
I'll say in Draconic, but okay. You can go, Emrys.
If Emidus could grin.
You see Emidus panting as he rushes over, and Limera starts immediately like scratching around Emidus's back and behind the ears.
Wait, she's going to be with Emidus?
He's taking
Oh,
Emidus.
she's got. She's getting cake and the.
Apparently.
Hope I didn't keep you waiting.
Not too much.
Excellent. Well, in that case,
Oh, you're a good boy, aren't you?
he is the best of boys. Should we perhaps have a meal before setting off?
Oh, no need. I have something to snack on.
Medrash is not for eating. Well, in that case, never say no to a bit of supper. Help me sleep, you know. Oh, and cheese. I get the best dreams when I have some cheese. You try that.
Cheese? Oh, yes.
Yes. Cheese right before bed, that's the secret ingredient to vividly interesting dreams. And good ideas, too.
I thought spiced wine was for that.
It serves most of the same purpose, but I find that sleep poorly when I've had alcohol, you know? Besides, mulled wine is more for, well, the winter, like it is right now. Anyways, shall we head off then?
Oh, yes. She stands back up and heads out the door.
I will have left my backpack and stuff behind, so it's just me, my clothes, and my staff.
And
Don't
your
even have my spell book,
motorcycle?
actually. No, not my motorcycle. I'm gonna make one though, don't worry.
Well, you're soon in Waterdeep, so. Yeah. She takes you the long way around, heading down to the main crossroads, where the long road meets the Keldal Path and the Cairn Road. And
Trying
then,
to avoid the pawnbroker again.
yeah, basically. And she's chit-chatting with you over the couple of minutes it takes you to get to her quite small, dainty house. She heads to the door, unlocks it, and then opens it for you to enter. On the outside, the house is very bland, made of basically just logs, without any kind of extra paint on it or anything, with a thatch roof. But on the inside, you can see that there is just one single room with a couple of like divider walls, kind of sectioning off the like the small kitchen area or like food preparation area, and like the rest of the floor plan. On the inside, there are these very fine planks of wood, which have been stained with this kind of reddish color, like a very deep crimson brown kind of stain. And there are these lush curtains hanging over all the all three of the windows, and there's even like a couple of couple of these like draperies hanging from the ceiling, like bundled up and then running alongside the ceiling.
This is a nice home.
Thank you. I worked hard to make it look nice.
If you want, I know a few tricks to add decorative visuals to crafted objects, if you have any requests.
She looks around and then kind of very gently shakes her head and says, "No, I think this is exactly how I like it."
Few people achieve such perfection early. That's very impressive.
I am happy with it for the moment. Do you notice that there is no bed? At least visible? There are a couple of great big cupboards set against the walls. There's a very simple but again very finely a finely stained table and chairs. The chairs with these kind of like velvet covered pillows on the seats. And then in the very middle there is a large bath which is kind of steaming a bit.
So Madrash clearly like looks around and like looks at the closets, and you can see him thinking like, the bed's probably one of those fold-out ones in the closet.
That bath is... Well, it certainly looks steamy and ready. A bit open, though.
Oh, right. And she closes, well, first the front door and locks it, and then heads over to the windows and covers the curtains, or pulls the curtains like completely over the windows so nobody from outside can see in.
Yeah, that certainly helped. It's a good thing I've been doing the adventuring lifestyle for about a year now, probably. So, I'll be doing a small spell while I'm having the bath. I hope you don't mind.
Ooh, what kind of spell?
It certainly is not particularly, well, visually appealing, but well, suffice to say, I'll be making myself an extra set of eyes.
Don't know how to react to that.
If you do, I'm not sure I will know how to react to it either. I have a feeling it's going to be excruciatingly uncomfortable. But what does not one suffer for magic? I was thinking I'd leave one back at my home. I haven't been there for so long. I don't know if anyone's been there rummaging around.
I mean,
Amidus.
you shouldn't
And
shouldn't
Draconic.
do quite everything just for magic. You never heard of Karsus?
Ha.
Oh, indeed. A very interesting cautionary tale, that. But the usefulness of the spell, while it is undeniable, unfortunately the safety of it is as well. So, no reckless risks.
Well, I hope so.
Besides, I'm sure Mistress got it well in hand. Not expecting any trouble from someone as lowly as myself.
I'll tell Amidus in Draconic to
make himself comfortable where he wants.
Mm-hmm.
You don't mind if he sleeps on, well, or sits on anything he feels like, right?
No, not at all. It's not like he sheds.
I don't think he does. I've never seen it. I haven't heard any of it either.
Limera is chuckling to herself while you're thinking, and she is also taking some small bottles of a shelf, along with a like a 2 different sets of brushes and like a small ball-shaped piece of what seems to be soap.
So this is going to be the problematic part.
Mm-hmm.
I have a tail.
Yep.
Is this bath actually spacious enough for me to sit on my tail?
Yes.
Good. Then all is well. I
It's a
won't have
little,
to
it's a little
go on my
cramped,
face.
but it's spacious enough that you could make yourself fit.
You look around for a. I only remember the Norwegian name for it. You know when
A screen.
coat rack.
Oh, coat rack. Yeah, there's one right next to the door.
I don't think the Norwegian direct translation would garner me any favor. Mute servant. So there's one in the corner. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
He heads over and takes off his robes and leaves his staff there as well. Well, he's got traveler's clothing under, so it's warm shirt and pants, I'm guessing, to prevent the winter from catching too much.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So I'm guessing it's not too overly fuzzy and warm, considering it's the cloak he has that is the primary source of heat.
Mm. So while you're setting things down, removing your cloak, and then you turn around, you notice that Limara has somehow managed to find like this small table beside the bath, as well as a stool, and you're very sure that you didn't see them before, and you didn't hear any magical incantations either. If anything, you heard like a drawer opening or something like that.
So you're into painting, huh?
Painting?
Oh no, never mind. I'll be getting into the bath now, if you don't mind.
Oh no, not at all. And she sits on the stool, like right at the head of the bath.
He'll, as he's, for every piece of clothing he takes off, he then does a prestidigitation to clean it. So everything's like left clean, and shirt and pants, everything just, tucked together nicely, so that it's no creases and stuff like that. It's, let's just say he's probably sharing her enthusiasm about keeping things tidy and beautiful. And eventually
don't
in
you
full
worry.
glory.
While you're doing your spell, I'm sure she'll go and refold them.
Probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
So yeah, it won't be long until he's in full glory.
Fold
and
them into a swan.
What kind of hole did you call that?
I mean, technically it would be a rose, no?
A rose, a heart, and a swan, depending on the clothing. Several different pieces here, after all.
Everything entwined together into this massive swan. You're not quite sure where to tug in order to get everything back out.
You're almost sure that that SR could make a tiny servant out of this creature, though?
Yep. So,
You'd probably make it to a very efficient one.
so you step into the bath and manage to make yourself comfortable. And as soon as you let out this like sigh of relief of being in a nice warm bath, Limura reaches over your shoulder and takes the piece of soap from the table beside you and drops it into the water with you, and you hear it start to sizzle.
Oh, is that what to eat? Goods.
Oh, no.
Hmm.
Managed to make this myself.
Oh.
They teach that at the
Oh.
temple.
I might have to get the recipe for that then, if you don't mind.
Not at all, but it will be quite difficult to make. Just based on the recipe, that is.
Well, I am going to Waterdeep hopefully soon, so perhaps I'll have to find a substitute there. Neverwinter isn't much for these kinds of luxuries, you know.
No. Not sure if you will find these in Waterdeep, at least now in winter time. I'm sure the nobility have stocked up on them, so they may be sold out everywhere.
He'll start washing himself up and then begin his spell.
Limura reaches over and like slaps your hands away from you and like places them on the sides of the bath. Oh no, none of that.
How else am I going to clean myself?
She she picks up the larger brush with this kind of like a cloth wrap over the top, so she can like slide it onto her hand, and she kind of like shows it to you.
My claws might rip that.
As you say that, she laughs and then reaches into the water and starts scrubbing you while sitting like right behind your head.
Oh, well, that's mighty kind of you. I suppose that frees up my hands for the spellcasting. The casting is going to take about an hour, so I hope you don't mind.
Not at all.
Prefer. I won't be able to interrupt it without wasting it. I am perfectly fine not doing it, just so you're aware.
Of course. I don't mind. So
Yay.
so you start casting. You feel constantly this brush cleaning your scales, occasionally kind of like digging kind of between the scales, like scrubbing you nice and clean all over as she
Yeah, good job.
You notice
And, I'm
you
guessing
notice
it's nowhere as uncomfortable. Well, it's more uncomfortable than the discomfort in the spell creation.
Mhm. You also notice that occasionally she takes one of the bottles and uncorks it and pours a bit into the water. And each time she does that, this faint kind of a faint scent reaches your nostrils, and it almost feels like this scent is penetrating your soul itself. It
How?
it does smell of lavender, but the like sensation and emotions rushing through you every time you get a whiff of it.
That entire last part of your sentence vanished.
Oh, which part?
The entire
Um,
last sentence.
Yeah, the entire last sentence. From the after the lavender.
Oh, um,
It's kind of weird because
yeah.
we're hearing you just fine, and then it just cuts out, and then cuts back in.
I have no clue because my connection seems stable, so no idea why. Anyway,
But from lavender.
it sent the scent is of lavender, but every time you get a whiff of it, you get these sensations and emotions rushing through you, which have this not exactly like revelatory feeling, but like a deep resounding feeling, like almost as if something has just caressed your soul itself.
Well, I guess it's very convenient that I can't say anything for now.
About 20 minutes in, Limera begins to hum. A very beautiful, very long song, it seems. Completely hummed right beside your ear. And you notice that unintentionally you are kind of matching the verbal components of your spell to this tune.
That is actually concerning for him, but he's going to chalk it up to the tenseness of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And try to redouble his efforts to finish the spell so it's not wasted.
Sure. Make a
Concentration check?
Yeah, make a concentration check. I was thinking if it's more willpower or concentration. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to break out of the tune?
As long as it's not interfering with the spell casting, then he doesn't see a point.
Okay.
I mean, what harm could it do? It's just a hum.
Famous last words.
Eh? As long as it's not interfering with the spell casting, he sees no reason to be concerned with it.
Mm-hmm. After about 45 minutes or so, you're nearing the end of the spell. Through your studies of it and knowledge of the spell, you know that there is supposed to be horrific pain when the eye extrudes out of the socket and is basically pressed out by the second eye forming. And for
That's
just
yummy.
a split second, you're struck by the realization that even though you are feeling your eye extruding, it's not painful.
I should go here often. I wonder if I get you know when you've been bathing for far too long, you get that mushy.
Mm-hmm.
Wrinkly
I
skin.
wonder if Dragonborn get that, or half dragons. I could do 3 more hours of this.
Well, you definitely could.
Well, still 15 minutes to go though.
Yep. You finish your spell, and your eye pops out of its socket, and you hear a bloop as it falls into the water.
Eat the
And
eye. Eat the eye.
Limura, for a moment, just freezes in place and stops humming completely.
He'll reach over and like scoop it up and like inspect it, and with the other hand, kind of like checking his own eye and like,
That was a great success. First time I tried this.
Limura is completely silent behind you. And after a second, she kind of like pulls the brushed hand out of the water, takes the brush off, and sets it down. And
I have
then
a
you
weird-
see her kind of like leaning from the side to see if you still have an eye.
Oh, don't worry. I have a spare.
Oh,
That's
good.
what she wanted
was-
to hear.
I was concerned for a moment. I'm not exactly a healer.
No, I wouldn't have. Trust me, I would not have attempted this if it meant losing an eye or vacating it from my skull. I do enjoy having 2 eyes, but having 3 is even better. A bit disorienting to be seeing through all of them right now, but I'll get used to it. Though this is definitely not eye-catching.
So
She audibly sighs as she leans back.
So, as the spell says that the eye that is created is a object and not a creature,
Mhm.
I'm gonna cast this on it.
Okay.
I'm gonna gild it up and like actually try to make it a bit like beautiful somehow, or at least less visually
Disturbing.
disturbing, like an eye on just ganglia.
Mm-hmm. You want to just make it golden
Not
and
golden.
have
I'll
have
make
some
it actually.
patterns on it or something.
Yeah,
Ma-
I'll
make
add
it-
runes to the eye,
Eat
and
it.
the ganglia I can make into vines, basically.
Eat it like spaghetti.
No, I'm not gonna eat it.
I suppose if
That's-
you ever get curious what your old eye tastes like.
It's not my own eye though. It's a spell-created object.
You could have always made it look like coppery and brass, and then given the ganglia like a sort of mechanical tentacle look.
That would be a gnomish interesting.
Yeah, it would fit for someone who's familiar with like visual aesthetics of a steampunk. But as Madrash is a wizard, the runic patterns on the eyeball is going to be the ideal, and the making the roots or ganglia be like plant reminiscent, at least make it like remind that it's, while not natural, it wants to pretend to be instead of looking like nerve endings and ganglia.
Sure.
Be right back.
Okay. While you're decorating it, modifying it and altering it over
Be right back.
some time, since I'm sure that it takes a little bit to get everything how you like it.
Hmm.
While you're doing that, Limura, scoots scoots her seat back and heads over to the kitchenette and recovers this small box and heads on over and places it right next to the bath. You hear her take something out of the box, and then you see right above your eye, well, actually you see through your third eye at this point, so you can see this full bundle of grapes being lowered right in front of your face.
Oh, thank you.
He'll try to take it.
She will immediately stop you.
I figured.
Oh, those are enough for me.
They are.
You should consider opening a hotel with this degree of hospitality.
Oh, I
Combine
don't
it.
show this kind of hospitality to everyone.
A pity, though. Imagine a combination of a temple to Sune, converting them through sheer pampering and luxury. How else will they know the glory?
It has been attempted, but many think that Sunites are common prostitutes.
Ah. Yeah. I would imagine it's probably slander from Sharites. Sharesites? Sharites?
Yes, we don't particularly enjoy the way some people describe us.
Woefully misunderstood, I would say.
He'll open his mouth and wait for a grape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she lowers the bundle down so you can bite off a grape.
Munch. Having finished the decorations, he'll kind of nudge towards it. Like,
A bit more visually appealing now, I would say, don't you think? Still unnerving, I can imagine, but better.
Oh dear.
It is much better. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I have seen the odd beholder and two, and they have an eye for detail. That is quite true. Now let me put this thing away. I don't. It's unnerving. If it is unnerving to me, it certainly is unnerving to you.
She.
I had an idea involving Emidus there, but I'm not going to.
Mm-hmm.
Feed him the eye?
No. Though it would involve putting the eye in his mouth, yes.
Oh god.
But I'm not sure I want to see that.
I like it. I like it. Do it. Do it.
Be
I'm so
oppression.
glad I don't feel anything through the eye, just see things.
If you wanted to get a good look at his cavities.
At least it's not Sergil.
Oh god. True.
I mean, that wouldn't be a problem, he'd just swallow it whole.
Yeah, I mean, you'd give Sergil a
Or
nice
give a
colonoscopy
Munch.
on the way out.
I'll see if there's anything conveniently nearby that I can stash the eye in, so that it's out of sight.
I mean, your clothes are fairly close by.
Yeah, but then I'd get out of the bath.
Yeah.
I'm not
Aside,
done yet.
aside from that, there aren't that many places aside from the
Can
crate
you
of
let the eye
grapes.
move
It only moves at 5 feet per minute.
per minute? and as long as you concentrate on its movement.
So that's going to be like an excruciating long, like So
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's plenty of room under the tub.
Yeah. There's enough space.
Look
at
out!
least.
I'll just put it gently down to the ground next to me.
Roll it. Roll it under the bath.
Nah, I don't need to roll it.
Just keep rolling.
So-
roll.
Once you've done that, Limora kind of shifts around to the opposite side of the bath and sits down again, places the little table to the side, and sprinkles some more of this lavender into the bath with you before putting on the brush again and reaching down for your legs and starting to scrub them nice and clean.
Mm-hmm.
She begins to hum again.
What is that chant you're doing?
Oh, it's an old song. My mother used to sing it to me when I was very little.
I find it rather, I suppose intoxicating might be the best way of describing it.
That's strange. Most people do not like it. It can be quite sad.
What is it about? I haven't heard any lyrics yet, after all.
Oh, I'm not much of a singer. I do enjoy humming. Well, let's see.
Tell you what,
Mhm.
given your hospitality, if you sing it for me, then I shall return the favor of the bath and scrub you as well.
Did you say scrub you as well?
Yep.
Oh.
She laughs and kind of gives you a coy smile. She stops the humming for a moment and then takes a deep breath and starts to sing in Elven at first.
I understand, Alvin. Nope.
And she starts in Elven and then hums for a moment before switching to a language you definitely understand. She's Draconic. She is singing.
I have a feeling I'm going to be drawing on the
This.
power of the Kira soon. The promise of the Great Dragon. So the question then is, have I heard that song before, or will I need to draw on the Kira?
You have heard this before. I believe this is one of the songs which has become more popular for bards to perform as of late.
Ah, yeah, I remember something about that. I will then try to join her in on the draconic parts. Seeing as how that's actually 4 of the 5 persons. No,
Alright.
3 out of the 5.
Well,
Oh, don't ask me to do a performance.
roll a performance check.
Can I roll it instead? I have a better performance.
Nope.
I'm joking.
I have charisma. I could roll performance.
Yeah, we've seen how well that works out with your intimidations.
I know, right? Which does not make sense whatsoever.
So
Do I have... No, I don't have inspiration. Show off.
so she
Hey, at
will-
least it wasn't a crit fail.
So you join in and kind of manage to keep in tune, kind of. But it is clear that she is a much better singer, even though she said that she isn't much of one. Her voice fits the song as well as the, strangely enough, fits even like the draconic language very well. And her pronunciation, although it's kind of archaic and rough, it's also very lyrical in a way, kind of like picking up from the first couple of verses in Elven and kind of like carrying that sort of like sing-songy style into the Draconic.
Somehow carrying the beauty of the Elven language with it, I'm guessing.
Hmm.
So once she finishes the song, Midrash is certainly going to be looking at her intrigued.
Mm-hmm. She continues to hum once she's done singing.
That is a interesting choice of song.
I suppose.
Or even so that you could pronounce the draconic parts with such finesse.
Well, I have been hearing this song since I was very little.
Oh,
Yes, like I said,
Do you
my
know
mother
what-
used to sing to me.
do you know what the draconic parts mean?
Hmm, not exactly. I don't
Would you care for
exactly
a
understand.
translation?
I don't exactly understand Draconic, but I have had people explain it to me, I suppose. I wouldn't mind a translation, of course.
I'll try to find a lyrical translation into Common
Mm-hmm.
that somehow or somewhat fits with the verses.
Sure.
Usually, direct translations don't work well with lyrics.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Straight intelligence check.
No. Roll a performance with your intelligence modifier.
Let's see. That's +4. Intelligence mod.
Yep.
Yeah, I added it as a temporary bonus.
All right. So you're fairly satisfied with the translation. It takes a little bit of floundering to find proper words to use, but overall, even the Draconic is quite simple when it comes to the wording. So it's not from the most difficult Draconic songs. Yeah, you manage it. And she follows along, listening to you while still continuing to scrub you.
rather optimistic song of tales from the great past. Tales that these days have become rather reawakened.
Oh, have they? It's, well, have yet, fortunately, to see this kind of darkness.
Hmm. And shall we be so fortunate to not see it again? But there are forces moving around at this time, hoping to restart these things, I think.
Well, I hope someone puts a stop to them.
Oh, I fully intend to. It may be in my lineage, but it is a lineage I shall fight. Claw, tooth, and tail.
Well, you're certainly already proving to me that not all red dragons can be quite as evil as they are said to be.
Hmm. Well, I suppose I have the advantage of only being half.
You feel a tug on your tail. She like picks it halfway out of the bath and like scrubs it down.
Oh, that tickles. Be careful. That spot right there, that tickles.
She laughs and seems to concentrate on the ticklish spot for a moment.
Of course she does. He's going to quiet down, though, after mentioning those things for a moment. And if she continues humming, he'll just listen to that instead.
Yep. She, after a moment, she starts to hum again. Again, says the same tune, while moving eventually from your tail to your other leg. Occasionally adding some more lavender once more.
I would pay so much money to experience this in real life, even without a happy end. Just a nice bath. I don't have a bath. I have a shower. I hate that. I want a nice bath. I want
See,
to
I'm
be
the opposite.
scrubbed and
I'm not a bath fan. I generally prefer showers.
So, do you want to cast the spell again?
The eye?
Yeah.
I have a
Without
feeling that
second eye.
even I will be struggling with the submerging of 2 hours. I have no doubt that she will be very happy to be scrubbing for those 2 hours. But
I mean, you will be clean.
yeah, but waterlogged.
I mean, we're going to water deep. There we can meet all the water you wasted.
Make a Constitution saving throw. Okay. After about an hour and a half of you being in that bath, without you chanting your spell, you are starting to feel quite drowsy, especially after every time the lavender is added to the bath.
Sedate rape.
You feel as if all the muscles in your body have relaxed completely from the sensation of this lavender scent.
Oh, I've been there before. That's when things are getting dangerous. Fortunately, I hopefully can't drown here.
I hate to cut this short, but if I stay any longer in this bath, I might actually fall asleep because it's so comfortable.
Oh, well, I do need to boil some more hot water anyhow. If you wish to rest for a moment, you can.
I was thinking it's your turn now. I didn't make the promise after all.
Oh, but that is after I am done. I still have your head to go, as well as your back.
True. I'll sit up then and rest myself a bit.
I'll actually take the time to get the eye over in my robes, so
Sure.
that it's not laying about.
Yeah. Limora takes the brush off and then rushes over to one of the cupboards to fetch a nice fluffy towel for you, right as you're standing up.
Much appreciated. You really have this place nicely compartmentalized. I admire that.
Well, it was the only home available, so I had to use every trick to make it a bigger than it probably should be. Oh,
Perhaps
I
a
will
issue
go.
I can help you with once I have, well, studied a bit more. Though I don't know what a plot of land costs in Red Larch these days.
Depends on the season. No, I will go and boil some more water and drag this water out.
Thank you.
I'll dry off and tend to Emidas, I'm guessing.
Sure. Limora drags the bath to the door.
Strong, huh?
Opens the door and basically just like lifts from the back with all her might to like dip it over, so all the water washes out straight out onto the street. And then she drags the empty bath back to the center of the room before heading out to boil more water.
Madrash just stands there like,
I would be very careful about stepping outside in the morning. That's going to freeze.
What? Lemera doesn't turn around and go, "Do you even lift, bruh?"
I mean-
full bath of water.
I want to point out something, Red Rash. You have fire breath, right?
yes, but the fact that a full tub of water has now been placed in the snow outside the door doesn't mean that I can just instantly just melt that with my breath. And that's going to freeze to solid ice in this winter time.
So Limora goes into the kitchenette and then comes back out with this fairly hefty bag of salt.
Now that should take care of the problem instantly. You
Then
are prepared for everything.
I do like to bathe as often as possible. I learned my lesson the first winter I spent here.
I can imagine the tumble onto your behind was none too pleasant.
Oh, quite so. Now, that new warm water. It will take an hour or so to fill that bath again.
Well, we can fill the time with... Do you have any games?
Games.
Yes, chess, dragon chess. Something that is easy to do while also maintaining a conversation.
I think I have something. And after she has placed a massive cauldron to boil, um,
She's gonna bring out Twister, isn't she? Medieval Twister.
It has
Oh
spikes.
god, can you imagine? Evil Twister.
It has spikes on it if you miss. Ah!
Oh,
No, it's Harpel version, so you never know what's gonna happen.
And she brings out a football. It is called the beautiful game, after all.
Is the green.
So she brings out a wooden board with kind of a star-shaped pattern of little dips in it. And then she brings out a couple of pouches of what seem to be small marbles and places them on the table with it.
Here comes the true test of any relationship.
Have you ever played Go?
I have tried it once or twice back in the Wizard Academy, yes, but I'm no expert at it, that's certainly true. I'm more of a dragon chess kind of guy. For when time is not a issue.
Well,
Keeping the same game going for a week is highly enjoyable.
well, this one hopefully won't run quite that long. After all, I believe you are not staying that long.
Well, the night is still far from us, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Shall I explain the rules to you?
I'll take a refresher at least. Perhaps you're playing a different variety than the Neverwintian.
You need to hit the hole.
Why don't you roll a straight up intelligence check?
No, if you actually get the rules.
Okay. So you go through basically just a refresher game, and then play a full proper game after that. And she just manages to edge out a win.
How long,
it has taken you about say 45 minutes at this point.
A very worthy opponent. Nothing is quite as stimulating as a game of wit. Well, I can think of a few things, but still.
Like what?
Twisting that magical incantation just right. Or finding someone stimulating in conversation as well. There are many ways to be stimulated in this world, fortunately. In fact, I'm very glad for my traveling companions don't seem to appreciate it, perhaps to the same degree.
That is a shame. That Drake seemed quite jovial.
Oh, that is a fairly recent thing, unfortunately. Had he been as jovial as we encountered him wandering insane in the mountains, he
You could say he's hot.
might have been a bit.
Insane. You saw the place. He wasn't insane. You saw the place.
You are insane. I agree. I vote
Insane
for
indeed.
a motion of impeachment on Drake. Wait, what?
I don't think I have met your other traveling companions.
Well, other than Drake, whom you've already met, there's SR, we're above him. We haven't discovered yet what the SR stands for, but he's gnomish, so I assume it's ludicrously long and useless. He does have an affinity for using his voice, as most gnomes tend to do.
But I can sing.
He will spin you a tale that will cause your ears to fall off. And then he'll animate those ears to make them walk away for some reason.
Oh, like you did with that eye.
Well, it might be a bit less voluntary on your end. If you see any walking furniture in town, it's probably SR's doing. And there's Holm. What a guide. How he sees anything in that cloud of vapor or smoke that he generates is beyond me, but he somehow finds a way always.
I mean, I would guess that it's probably because he was used to do it drunk. Now it's just, it reminds him from how it was when
That's
he
the
was
secret.
drunk.
He never really saw where he went.
Just by feel.
It's the same smell I used to smell here, so yeah, this is the place.
There was a tale long ago where this guide could find anywhere, but no one knew how.
That is so
all stories depict him as a drunk blind man.
I suppose he is the embodiment of a sense of direction. Though,
Well, that is good in a guide.
I am concerned, though. He seems to have... Well, his preference in life is showing others the way, but himself doesn't quite seem sure of the path for him to take.
Well, perhaps you should take him to the Temple of Sune in Waterdeep.
Yes, let's make
It does sound like a good idea, though. From what I've learned about his time in Yartar, he might feel a bit more comfortable in the presence of someone worshipping Shares.
That's a shame.
Yes. I will hold out hope for him, though. Anyone can be turned. He simply has not seen the value of proper companionship, I believe. But a road life, or a life that constantly forces one to wander, might be a reason for that.
Well, if you have truly enjoyed a lasting good companionship.
As I've certainly discovered a new one now, that's for certain.
Ooh, there's a smell.
Yes, and it smells burning.
Are you sure
It's
you're
hard
not?
to tell if it's definitely wood or plant matter burning. So either it's someone smoking or it's a house smoking. I'm gonna go check outside.
Yep. Actually, this is probably a good spot for a break. And after
Seriously.
that, we can probably speed through the rest of Midrash's night a bit. The most important bits are explored.
Why do I have a curse with my intimidation? It's my best skill, and yet I roll so badly on it.
Oh, don't worry. She's yet to explore the most important bit.
See,
I will go
Liam,
get some
Liam,
coffee.
it's just Chris's influence rubbing off on you.
Speaking of rubbing off, I'm sure the rest of the session will be a bit faster.
It's
I'm not-
fine because
I'm not
it's
sure
actually
what
quite.
I'm not sure what exactly you're thinking might happen.
Hey, Liam.
Yes, I saw.
Nothing is what's going to happen, which is why it's going to be fast.
Yeah. Boop.
movie they actually had to recreate it.
I'm so sad I couldn't afford any of the props from the movie. Just wanted a
Can always
simple
make them.
guard sword.
They were auctioning them off for pretty hefty prices.
Oh yeah. Though the majority of the income, I believe, went to charity.
As is traditional.
Or so they say.
Yeah.
It's charity to the owners of Blizzard.
I'm sure they get a healthy serving of it, but also just because they don't take the money from the actual auction doesn't mean they get a ton of publicity and PR income.
Well, yeah.
Also, it is deductible from their income, so
Yeah. I wouldn't worry
more
about
income.
that. Activision Blizzard has actually had the UK pay them instead of paying taxes.
How come?
Because they found a nice little loophole in the UK tax system where it's a giant loophole that clearly wasn't meant to aim at large businesses but like small starter businesses, but your politicians never consider that a large game development studio based in Britain would exploit it, because the spirit of the tax reduction for the companies is for small one man or like 10 man things, not like multi-billion dollar operations.
Well,
I believe I linked it like a few weeks ago, the article. The UK has paid Activision Blizzard £44 million in tax returns.
that's nice tax returns.
And
Wait, but that's
that's
tax
because
returns, so it means that
yes,
they have paid it and then they returned it.
no, because they haven't actually paid any taxes, because all the money is entering the US, not the UK, but all the expenditures in the UK, so they're constantly going into a minus, poor guys. So they need that little tax help.
They should break away from Activision Blizzard and fund the NHS instead. Let's make a bus with some sort of a cool slogan. Blexit.
It's good that they're helping Blizzard.
Sure.
They're having a hard time.
Yep. Barely keeping up.
They are barely keeping up with keeping updates going.
On the brink of closing down.
The updates for some games. I'm just completing
Sure.
your sentences. That's all.
Yeah.
It's not incorrect. It just.
Wow,
yeah.
you're so in
when
sync. It's not like you're almost finishing each other's sandwiches.
when's the last patch which came to Warhammer 3 anyway?
What does Blizzard have to do with it? They didn't develop it.
I meant
Is it
Warcraft
Activision?
3, but it's also very late.
Oh, don't worry about Warcraft 3. They have taken Warcraft 3, updated all the art assets to a new version, so it looks fantastic, but it's also backwards compatible, so you can play. Someone who's using the new client and the old client can play with each other and stuff like that.
That's
and
cool.
they have gone over the entire campaign and just updated and made entirely new models for everything.
That's one thing that I love about them, that they actually think about the ones that actually have owned the old game and not just the new. That's nice.
Well, what else are they going to do? It's not like they bother making new IPs.
I mean,
Yeah, like Overwatch.
communication.
Overwatch has been in the works since StarCraft Ghost.
Isn't that where it came from anyway?
Yep. And Hearthstone might be considered the only new IP for since like in the last few while,
I mean, they
but
still
that's
do.
dying.
They, yeah, they still.
StarCraft 2 was the end of all StarCraft. They have confirmed no more StarCraft stuff.
You
Mhm.
also said about Diablo.
No, Diablo 4 is coming, and Diablo
I don't.
Immortal, oh, that's coming too.
Didn't they already announce it last year? And
They announced
Immortal.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird because when they announced it last year, like 2 months after, Tencent, the developer for the game,
Mhm.
sent out a statement that yeah, I mean we finished the game. We're just waiting for Blizzard to publish it. Still not out.
I mean, let's be fair. At least they publish more IPs and games than Valve does
True.
at this point.
What did Valve launch lately?
The
Portal 2 is
card game
probably the
thing.
last. Oh, yeah.
No, Portal 2 is a while back, but they made that card game kind of thing, collectible card.
What the hell was
Which one?
that? Was that Scrolls? No.
Yeah, Artifact.
Yeah,
What's
the one that
Artifact?
nobody ever played.
Yep, because it came out so late.
Speaking of things nobody ever plays, D&D.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, that's actually a lie. I don't accept that.
Yeah, man. Jeez.
You are
Let's
free to
continue.
disagree.
Let's see. They've got 2 titles coming out this year, Steam. Dota
They do.
Underlords and In the Valley of Gods.
Is
Dota-
Underlords not just more stuff for Dota?
Dota Underlords is out and it is currently active.
Yeah, but is it not stuff for Dota the game, or is it
It
its
is.
own thing?
It's a content update for Dota. Too.
Yeah. See, that's not a new IP.
Well,
But the other thing is a new thing, I believe.
yeah, In the
Let
Valley
me
of
guess,
Gods.
it's VR.
It has to be, surely.
Yeah, it's got to be something VR related. For the Valve
Specifically
Index
Dota.
specifically.
Uh,
Oh, by the way,
mm.
I'm eating something that is quite troublesome in the UK, apparently.
What's that?
They're not.
Jaffa cookies.
Jaffa.
Mm.
Jaffa
Jaffa
cakes.
cakes.
You mean?
Mhm.
No, they're cookies.
Cookies.
To any sane world, it's cookies, but to you guys, it's cakes because that changes the tax on it.
Well,
Mhm.
that actually was something that was. Okay, no, I'm sorry, I can't say anything. Never mind. I can't talk about it. Never mind.
All that matters, it's orange and chocolate, and it's delicious.
If it's soft
Eh,
and if it's
agree
soft
to
and it
disagree.
goes hard, it's a cake. Surely.
Yep.
Agree to disagree. At least in regards to the goodness of Jaffa cakes.
Hey, cookies are hard and crumbly.
I'm not a fan of Jaffa cakes.
We understood
Well,
that by your previous 2 statements.
I'm not a fan of you then, okay?
Yeah, go back to your sheet.
Nom.
I'll stick to my raw carrots, thank you.
What are you,
You're really
vegan?
No, I just love it. I've always loved raw carrots since I was a young wee lad.
Yeah.
You pull them
that's-
out of the ground.
For some reason, he dips into the same stash he should be feeding the sheep with. But
Sharing it with
maybe
the
that's a sensual night out for them.
No, that's
Sharing
not
a
what he-
carrot,
Oh dear.
starting on one end each, meeting on the middle.
That's for those
Mm-mm-mm.
warm, those cold winters.
uh,
Why aren't you playing World of Warcraft though? There's a carrot on a stick.
There is.
I mean,
Actually,
obviously
it
it is.
exists.
I mean, I've left my game logged in because I'm trying to get. Because I just do not want to have to deal with wait times, so I'm occasionally going in.
Oh
and flicking
fuck
through.
yeah! Shit, I actually logged out. What's the queue like?
Oh, mine
I'll
was
just-
fast.
I'll tell you.
Hydraxian, it worked. Instantly for me.
Hydraxian, there is no queue whatsoever.
That's because you're on a dead realm. I'm on a lively realm.
I mean, it's very
Fuck you.
active.
Oh
Dead
my
realm.
God. We need to really go back to D&D.
Yes, please.
I'm just
No,
gonna
we have
get this
queues,
done
man.
so I can
hours.
have the queue.
2 hours.
Yep, position in queue 5611.
Well, you can get in right as we're ending.
Yeah, sounds about right. 122 minutes.
So, Midrash, unless there is something else you wish to do, Limora will be filling the bath once again, dropping in another soap, getting nice and soapy and fizzly, and then
Bent over.
You'll strike up conversation and
Mhm.
enjoy the rest of the bath.
She
once
dropped the
again
soap.
Keep
she
conversation going and interesting.
will. So once again she will hum throughout when not like chatting with you, and
Mm.
you spent about an hour and a half in the first bath, then about an hour out of the bath, and with the way she's like switching to the other brush and starting to really like scrub, and especially like on your head, it will take about another 2 hours before you can get out of the bath.
He is going to be so clean.
Yep. It's probably the cleanest you have ever been.
And probably a divine sensation, figuratively and literally.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Hopefully the conversation is equally stimulating and enjoyable throughout it.
Of course. Limera is very easy to talk to.
Madrash will try to stay on the finding common ground between like worship, theology, and like, the implementation of magic and ideas like that.
You do take note that she is not so much interested in the like magical aspects, as she is always commenting on the beauty of certain aspects, such as the chants involved with magic, the different incantations, the different like components and use of certain herbs, hand
And the very
movements.
nature of, or the, if you were to visualize how the weave is actually around, I'm guessing that also has beauty.
Yeah. She also comments on the like magical things she has seen throughout her brief existence, but still like equal to yours,
Yeah.
and the beautiful things she has seen.
There's definitely a overlap between their interests, considering Midrash is both enjoys like beauty and all these aspects, but at the same time has such a passion for his studies and magic and understanding, trying to probe deeper into interesting aspects of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So when
it
does it get to her converting him?
into a Tsunite. At at
Why
no
not?
point does she try to give you any speeches or anything like that. She doesn't seem to be the converting type. She's quick to point out beauty even in mundane things. And through that kind of like reinforces the presence of Sune in everything.
Yeah. It'll be a very enjoyable evening.
Mm-hmm. Because you will probably spend the rest of the evening there.
Question is, will he be spending the night?
Yes. Well, you offered to scrub her down as well.
That is going to take another 3 hours.
She turns out to be a water hag.
Oh, neither of us are getting any sleep tonight.
If she's a water hag.
Well, that too.
So yeah, it's fairly late evening by the time you finally get out of the bath and
And they cut out from the word evening.
Yeah.
fantastic.
Can you move your
It's
microphone closer? Maybe it will cut
It's
off.
not that. It's,
I can eat it if you would like, but I don't think it
I
will
don't-
help.
No, it's not. It's not the. It might be something with how it picks up extended sentences because it's never going. It's never happened like at the start of your sentences. It's always halfway through.
Hmm.
It just cuts out and then comes back in after with the end.
I have no clue why that is happening.
Something to do with how the voice activation works.
Perhaps.
For Discord, it's just always running. Basically, it's just voice activation.
But you
on
can
Discord's
attune it.
part.
Where it's always running.
It's
You
just
can
voice
attune it.
activation.
Constant on.
No, it's
Hmm.
voice activation, but it overall it seems very good at automatically keeping the level. So if it just cuts off, then that's a Discord issue.
Try setting the. No, that's the push.
Well, you can always set it to a bit lower, the activation.
I guess, but it changes every time since I
know.
am like moving back and forth away from the mic and back, so it's just
Oh, that
easier to
cut
have it
out.
Wow, you're
automatically.
cutting off.
Yep.
Hey, do we want to do the trick of switching server again?
We
It's
try.
been
Let's do it.
far
Try
into
it.
the conversation.
Well, there we go.
You need a bot to do
I
it
am
for us.
curious what would happen if we switched to Brazil.
Extreme
We would
latency.
have high lag. That would be my guess.
Well, Chris
Oh,
disappeared
Chris.
immediately.
Didn't I crash?
Still there.
You dropped out
My
for a
entire,
sec.
yeah, my entire Discord just closed itself and opened again.
Well then.
Yeah, there's an update.
How Discord, you made this program. You can tell when we're in a conversation actively using cameras and microphones. Why would you do an update?
I doubt it was
I
the
mean-
update because it would have taken you longer to get back in.
I mean, why would they try to make it nice?
Yeah, why the fuck would they try to make it anywhere remotely professional?
Mhm. Also, your camera isn't on.
Yeah, there's that too.
There we go. So, saying something about something.
Yes, something.
Summon.
Long evenings.
Yes. It's very late in the evening when you finally get out of the bath, dry off, and find your clothes very neatly stacked.
Pretty sure he didn't stack them just that way. Something's strange there.
Mm-hmm. Limura looks at you as you are like picking up the clothes and starting to get dressed a bit, and says, "I'm sorry, but I didn't quite have the time to wash those.
Worry not.
I could
If
do in
there's
the
one
morning."
thing a traveling mage requires, it is the magic to clean one's clothes. And it does the job quite admirably.
Oh, but that's
will
not
have
the
to-
same.
Oh, it is not the same, that is true. And there is no way for my magic yet to add a lavender scent to it, but one day when I am an archmage, I shall endeavor to find such a way.
As she empties the bath once again, you notice that it is dark outside.
I was hoping to return the bath tonight, but you have temple duty in the morning, do you not?
I have my morning prayers. I do not mind long evenings.
Well, I am not one to shy away from some late evenings. I have done my fair bit of studying in late for many a night. If you wish, I will happily return the bath.
Oh, well. If you are offering.
Naturally. It's only the proper thing to do.
Well,
Besides, you're a stimulating conversationalist.
well, thank you. She drags the bath
liar.
back and then starts boiling more water. She sets up the board once more so you can play while the water is boiling.
Hopefully I beat her this time.
Well, you're in check.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this time you managed to just best her. Can tell you that she rolled a 19 now, and the previous time she also rolled a 19.
Dang.
So
And this
all
is
has
while
been
keeping a
fine.
conversation going.
Yeah.
You might have found a soulmate.
Once the bath is filled, she walks up to it and unties the robe on her, first of all, and then removes the undergarments before slipping into the bath.
Now it's Midrash's turn to see if he can use that sponge thing without destroying. He's got, I mean, it's not so much claws as it is the texture of having scaly hands. I'm guessing that's going to be the issue.
I mean, at this point, you can feel that your scales are quite soft.
You become a softie.
Yeah, he'll get to work trying to use a probably unnecessarily gentle hand at first, I'm guessing.
Sure.
I mean, you don't scrub the topmost layer of skin off, as I fear so many women tend to do. Speaking from experience here.
I mean, exfoliation is one thing.
They call it exfoliation. I call it exsanguination. I'm a sensitive man, okay?
Cool.
Anyways, I'm curious if she returns to the hum, actually.
Yes, after a short while, she kind of takes a chance on a couple of occasions to kind of guide your hand to spread the lavender into the bath and like to scrub just a little bit firmer. But
Yeah,
overall,
that's
she
what
just
does.
overall
The secret
she
sauce.
just relaxes, and after a moment starts to hum.
She guides your hand.
Excellent. Yes, she needs the secret sauce in the bath.
Oh, God.
Apparently.
Yeah, the lavender stuff. Why do you get your mind out of the gutter, Liam?
I don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Can't two adults just have a nice, long, enjoying bath? I mean, I don't know what you and Petal get out to while you're standing in the corner in the shower huddling, but it's perfectly natural.
Again, this isn't
no.
the priestess of Shares.
Yeah. It's a Sue night.
I know, I just enjoy winding up to you.
I mean, I'm not sure that he's actually winded up. But...
As I'm getting access to that lavender powder, I want to try to take a gander at what it might be before I actually start asking about the details about it.
Sure.
Medicine check
Mm-hmm.
or investigation?
Medicine check.
Ooh.
Oh, that's wonderful. It is for the most part a kind of lavender extract. You definitely get some hints of other elements to it as well. It seems like there may be some herbs used commonly as incense, and and it
It's alright to tell me how many aphrodisiacs are in there.
there's none that you would classify as aphrodisiacs.
Well, I am but a mere pupil in the eyes of Sunai.
But the the mixture feels very refreshing as well. Perhaps mixed into holy water.
Good thing Drake didn't take this bath. Yep, he'll voice his interest in it and see if he can find a way to at least return the favor later by bringing her needed components since he's traveling.
Sure. She tilts her head back and looks up at you while you're.
What the
Jesus
hell?
Christ, Obsid. Your mic was like rubbing between your shoulder and your beard.
That wasn't the pleasant
That
sound.
was not ASMR.
I mean, it was just not the good kind.
So, while you're voicing your brief study of this mixture, Limera looks up at you, tilting her head back, and kind of just smiles.
Secretive. An interesting trait.
She just continues to hum and winks up at you before straightening her head again and leaning a bit further into the bath.
Despite his, I would say, a young age, he's always pretended he's a bit more mature than he is, considering he's going to Wizarding School and all.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be all acting and trying to be mature about the bath from this point out, but there's definitely a hint of something in his mind.
Sure. So, taking a brief moment to explore a bit. Where possible.
I mean,
if the opportunity
eyes
presents
tend
itself.
to wander.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes can do nothing but help wander.
He is a young hormonal driven dragon after all.
I don't think half dragons go into heat.
I mean, you can go if you want to.
Now that's Tio's prerogative. He's the one determining how the race works.
To be fair, half dragons aren't very well known about, so it's not much you know about them in that regard.
Nope.
Hopefully there's no heat then.
Well, there's always your breath weapon.
There is always
That's
that.
fair enough.
Did I actually go out and show her that? I didn't. I know I promised to do it, but I don't know if I actually did.
I don't think you did.
Okay,
You
that's
promised, but-
the end of the evening.
Sure.
When as they're saying their good nights and stuff, he'll do one just straight up outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing Emidus has had a very lazy and enjoyable evening.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, don't know what to make of that roll. Rolled a D100 and got the result of
Oh.
69, so that fits the bill.
Well, that fits the bill.
Even
no
even roll
42.
20 is against this pure sonite.
Yeah.
All 20's like, no, never.
Yeah, so once the time comes for you to shift lower, Limora helps you a little bit of on like shifting the small table with the lavender stuff on it further to the other side of the bath, and then dips down quite deep into the bath and lifts her legs up onto the sides of the bath.
Go about it trying to be as mature as possible. He doesn't want to be counted as a Sharite. Sharesite.
Uh-huh.
Jurassic probably sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, Sharesite
She-
probably is the right one.
And you notice that her head is reclined in a way where, like, the bottom of her chin and her and the bottom of her ears are submerged.
Yeah.
She has her eyes closed, with a smile on her lips as she continues to hum.
Well, I'm fortunate enough that I have said that this character has the more intimate part of the experience already achieved, so hopefully that shouldn't be too much of a distraction for him, right? He'll go about the business that is
Mm-hmm.
intended.
Sure. All right.
You rolled a 69 again.
Well, suffice to say, 69 or higher, Theo.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck!
Okay.
Well, it's been a very enjoyable conversational evening, so yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. Limura,
You don't want to know.
after a couple of hours of you going through this operation,
Surgery.
Certainly gaining more experience and skill as he goes, I'm
Mhm.
guessing.
Yeah.
He's quick on the
That's-
uptake.
at some point you notice that Limura has stopped humming, and you glance up to see that her shoulders and her chest beneath the water are rising a bit more than they were before. Seems that she has fallen asleep.
In the bath?
Mm-hmm.
It does happen.
Yeah.
Drown her
that-
whilst you
that-
can. No one will suspect you.
Raise her as an undead.
Oh god.
You're going to be with me forever.
I knew we had a special thing between us.
If
It's a frigging Dexter episode now.
her,
Right.
she's still currently like sunk down a bit, legs
Mm-hmm.
out of the tub. If he puts the or try to get her legs back in the tub, is she at any risk of actually going her head underwater, or will that be
No.
enough to keep her head
No,
above
the
water level?
path is kind of like sloped on either side, so I mean there's always a risk, yes, but so far she is kind of like reclining against the far side of the bath.
I'll see if I can find that closet she had towels in.
Mm-hmm. Eeny, meeny,
Find
miny,
one
mo.
and well, same one as she was in, I believe.
Yeah.
Find one for her, like ready everything for her to actually get out of the bath and do all things needed before actually waking her up, but doing so gently.
Sure.
What? No, placing your extruded eye on her forehead and screaming at her.
Holding the eye in front of her. I see you.
Where would you be standing while you wake her? Like to the side of the tub? Or
To the side, yeah.
okay.
And I'll be using a hand on her head to be waking her up.
Slapping her.
No, more
Wake
like
up!
He's not
running
Sean
my nails
Connery.
through her hair. No Sean Connery here.
Wake up. I need you.
So Limera's eyes open very slowly, and her smile broadens as she sees you there. Oh,
You shouldn't sleep too long in the bath. You'll catch a cold at this thing.
I'm sorry. I must have dozed off. I was quite enjoying it.
I have prepared your towel. I couldn't exactly figure out where your bed is. I was pondering on just laying you on it for now, but It would seem that it is well hidden.
She laughs and just kind of nods before placing her hands on the sides of the tub and slowly rising out of the water.
Do you wish me to bring you something to put on? Your shoes are over there, so...
No, thank you. You're very considerate.
It's the least I can do.
She dries herself off very quickly and then wraps the towel around herself.
Oh shit, she's a woman. I need 3 towels. One for the hair, one for the body, and one to randomly wipe.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, you didn't find more than 2 extra towels, as it were, and she hasn't actually wet her hair so far.
That's going to be a problem. As she's dressing and such, I'll be tending back to Emidus to make sure he's also not fallen asleep too much.
Mm-hmm.
Probably snores heavily.
Imara goes to the closet where you found the towels and fetches a quite thin kind of robe for herself, which she puts on after dressing, and then once again places her holy symbol around her neck. She walks to the other cabinet and then pulls the door open at the top, folding out a bed.
I knew it! I should have guessed that it was in there. Now that we've enjoyed our bath, and you're probably quite sleepy, judging from your little doze, I shall take my leave for the evening.
If you wish. I'm sure there is some room there. If you don't wish to.
Room?
It's gonna be tight, especially with your tail.
Oh, the tail can hang off the edge. That's usually more comfortable anyways. Though you never know what monster is going to grab it.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be quite a close spoon.
Here comes my problem. Let's see. D4. Odds. He stays. Evens. He prioritizes the ritual.
Odd.
He stays.
Alright.
Well, it is rather chilly to be walking around after a bath, especially in the wintertime. I'll have to accept your offer then.
Oh, good. I can make us breakfast in the morning.
I'll have to be up and about early. The final day of the ritual I need to be getting done at starting that at least around 8 to make sure the spell components don't destroy. But that should be doable.
Not to worry, I wake up very early.
Excellent.
She once again empties the bath and then closes and locks the door.
I'm just waiting for someone to walk by and just. There's so much water out there right now. That salt does not stand a chance.
Do never underestimate the power of salt.
Mm. So, they retire for the evening. I'll let Emidus have my robes to snuggle up in. Unless there's a comfy place for him to rest.
There's not quite enough room on the bed for him. That's for sure.
No. Oh well. He gets to snuggle up in the robes to be surrounded by the scent of master.
Mm-hmm. So after the bath and everything else has been cleared away, both of you head into bed. Limera still in her robe as she snuggles up on the bed. Then you settle down as well.
And enjoy a restful sleeping night.
Yes. SR.
Yes.
I'm guessing you have been protecting your candle for the evening.
Oh yes, I've been busy.
Housekeeping knocked twice on the door.
And they
during the
encountered a weird issue where no one actually responded, and when they tried to open the door, it was kind of stuck because of the bubble. Kind of it didn't pass through.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like, because I actually didn't. This time I actually said that no sound also gets through. So this time it's just like, what the hell?
So you are
Call
safe and
the
sound.
locksmith.
You are safe and sound in your bubble with your candle.
Yeah, I just wonder, by the way, it's a question that I am wondering, I mean, even as myself, like, if I find a room and I can place some, like, a ceiling low enough, could I cast the hut upside down and then it would create a full dome? It's not for now, but I'm just like,
I'm not sure.
because it says a platform, so it's like,
Not sure what the wording is. I think
Let's
it's
see.
like a surface or something.
Yeah, surface would be also something, can be also from atop. I'm just
Yeah.
1 second, I'll cast it.
Huh.
You see the weird thing about it? It doesn't actually specify it's not best possible, but I mean, it's just me thinking of.
What's the
I can
average
make it funny.
size of a room in an inn?
I mean, they're probably taking some part of
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
the next room. Some parts of the next room are just taken by my dome.
Okay, so let's take the wording at its literal sense and say that.
I'm just asking it because it's
I know,
intriguing.
but it. Let's say that you can cast it on a ceiling if you are able to hang upside down from the ceiling.
There's the thing, it's 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to hang it in order to stand there.
No, but it springs into existence around and above you.
Yes. Oh.
So you need to hang upside down from the ceiling for it to be up from me.
I can do it. I can find a way. I have many ideas. No, I thought about ropes and pulleys and just 2 pulleys and just pull myself up and I can do it.
You can find a way.
Yeah, and then I can just use this as a container for water and stuff. And raise my fishies in it. Never mind. Let's go.
Home,
What have
Drake.
I been up to? Oh, nothing. Okay.
Well,
Yes.
have you been harassing SR?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Not
How would
especially.
they harass me? I'm inside my dome.
I know. Never know with those two. Drill a hole through the floor.
That
I mean,
happened one time.
Drake could actually attack my door for no reason because that happened with another inn. So
Yeah.
No reason, my ass. But yeah.
you attacked my door when I was sleeping because you were hallucinating. So it wasn't. There was no reason whatsoever.
I wonder who who gave the item to
I
Star.
have no idea.
So I'm taking that you guys haven't done much throughout the evening.
Well, I was
You're
very
just
busy
reading.
with my candle.
Reading and saying my prayers, as the case may be. Not
No.
despite the fact I don't know the proper prayers, but you know, I'm
Good enough.
Something,
just burning
something, Fire
things.
Lord, something, something. I'm gonna set this in a blaze, something, something.
No, he's just burning down the inn. That's how he goes.
burn, baby, burn.
He's
Burn
just
the
outside in
heretic.
his
Purge the
underwear, just
mutant.
dancing around
Kill
the
him.
burning inn.
Would SR be considered a heretic? just asking for a friend.
Fire, fire on the candle. Who's the hottest god in the plane?
That's a
Prodigy
good prayer.
Firestarter starts.
Mm-hmm. It's just Drake in a sewer, doing weird faces and dancing around in clown
Never
makeup.
gonna give you up.
That's-
Never gonna let you down.
Nope, nope, no. No,
Ah, Drake.
You-
that is not Prodigy Firestarter. No, no. He's also swinging a torch, just a torch around, or a
Yeah,
bullseye
and-
lantern, just
and-
opening and closing it
and
really fast.
later he's in a boxing ring.
Yep. He's making a makeshift strobe light, essentially.
Mhm. Yep. Let's remember who we're dealing with here. Liam probably doesn't know what Firestarter actually is.
I've watched that movie actually, so yes, I do.
It's not a movie. It's
It was a Stephen. Wasn't it a Stephen King movie? Or
No,
book?
we're on about the song by
Firestarter.
Prodigy.
Oh no, I don't know that one.
Yep. There we go. So
Let me
for-
YouTube this for educational purposes.
Mhm. So for the three of you, I suppose the evening has been quite uneventful overall.
Don't be silly. It
Asi-
was very
aside-
eventful. I had much fun with my candle.
Yeah, and aside from the housekeeping occasionally trying to open the door and finding it like blocked off, which you were completely ignorant of, probably. You had a nice
those
rest
moments I
leave.
was just busy shining my my candle,
Shining your candle.
Just wiping it clean, stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's a shame that I really need to
Housekeeping.
get rid of it after 8 hours. Okay. Could have completely gone with the flow with that.
Oh, I know this song. Okay. No,
You
I
know
don't-
it by hearing it.
Yeah.
Twisted Firestarter.
Not a fan.
How dare you speak of a dead artist like that? Anyway, you all gained the benefits of a long rest.
Woohoo!
Did we really?
All of us?
Yes.
I mean, you had a long rest.
Yeah, but I was scrubbing for a lot of time, you know?
Ah, but it never said that you had to sleep during the entire long rest. You just had to be relaxed in some way.
Actually, that's incorrect. this game.
I mean, it is
Just go with it, man.
non-strenuous.
Just go with
activity.
it.
That's for a short rest.
I mean, it depends really. But anyway, yes, you get benefits of a long rest.
Excellent.
Midrash, you wake up
Mhm.
to the smell of fresh food, specifically a
Pancakes.
yes, and specifically very fluffy, kind of like Japanese style pancakes.
Oh, fuck you. Now I want to make that. Never
It's called-
succeeded in getting them fluffy.
Mhm. Taste
When
the
you make
bane.
them Japanese fluffy, they're like this thick, but like very fluffy and hollow.
Mhm. And you also, once you're rising out of bed, you notice that your robe and your traveler's clothes have been neatly folded beside you onto a chair. And
You've been turned to a human.
they are freshly washed, it seems, and freshly dried,
So,
and have
When
a
did you wake up? In
hint
the middle of the day?
and a hint of lavender about them.
she's got to be a witch.
Emidus
Let's kill her.
Emidus is currently sat right next to where the like little wall is separating the kitchen or the kitchenette from the rest of the house. His tail kind of slowly wagging from side to side, and his eyes focused inside the kitchenette.
Wagging rather rapidly, I'm guessing.
Sure.
He'll get up, get dressed,
And eat the food.
and follow the scent, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm kind of like,
When did you have time for this?
I told you I rise early.
and it's like, what, 7? Maybe 6? Right now, that is.
Somewhere about there. Roughly 7-ish.
He's like,
Well, you certainly are efficient, I'll give you that. Have you had time for your morning prayers?
Not quite yet.
Hmm.
I will head to the temple next.
Well, will you be joining me for breakfast, or shall I bring it?
Of course I will join you for breakfast.
Splendid, splendid.
And she turns and shows you this plate of these pancakes. Yep. It's a pretty high tower.
Oof. All of that's going to go straight to my hips, you know. And yours, if you're not careful.
Are you... She
hey,
she laughs and turns to face you, and places her hands on her hips and goes, "Are you saying that's a bad thing?"
No, actually, come to think of it, why don't you have a bit of extra?
and that's how you carry it forward. If you're afraid to say such things, Liam.
She laughs and takes the plate of pancakes as well as 2 other plates and brings them all to the table in the main room. Emidus is hot on her heels,
tongue
I'll
out.
say in Draconic, patience, boy, patience. It will taste even better once you're ready.
Sure. Liar.
You notice as Emidus like pauses and looks back towards you that he's already probably had some. There's some crumbs on his jowls.
She's gonna spoil you rotten.
Well, breakfast it is.
Yep. You enjoy breakfast in good company, which is a nice change of pace to your usual company.
It
I don't know
is.
what to do.
Very.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
And
Very good company.
after you both eat and enjoy a cup of fresh herbal tea,
Coffee, eh?
Limera walks you to the door and pauses at the threshold once you're outside with Emidus.
How did the salt fare?
Hmm?
How did the salt fare against all that water?
It's looking a bit rough, but I mean, you have a path to follow along through the worst bit of the ice.
You want-
Do you want to melt
Yeah,
it
you
down
are.
so it freezes like as a mirror surface again?
No. I was just checking if I had any impact stuff. But alas. Actually. Magic missiles force damage, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing it's basically like a half moon circle kind of thing.
Yep, it's like a half circle around the door.
I'll then take out my wand and trail impacts from a. You know what? I'm gonna go balls to the wall here and use 7. What is it? 7 or 6? 6 out of the 7 charges, so that it's a 5th level or 6th level magic missile. Tons of magic missiles.
9th level.
So I can
magic
layer
missile.
them in a line. Yeah. But I'll layer them in a line to use the impact to shatter the ice.
Yep.
In a straight line out to the road.
Sure. So yeah, you managed to shatter a path through the ice.
Eat
Once,
it.
once you're done, you hear from behind you, Limera. Midrash,
Hmm?
you're forgetting something.
Actually, I was wondering if I should carry you across here and bring you to the temple. But if you wish, a peck on the cheek before I leave. That's an option too.
She laughs and steps up to you, kind of like half leans against you, and she places something in your hand before leaning up to give you a very soft, brief kiss on the lips.
Daring.
And she leans back and takes a step back inside and says, "See you, half dragon," and then closes the door.
I'll say. Actually, before I say it, I'll check what she did.
She gave you one of these soap balls.
Score. The evening was worth it.
You now have a bath bomb.
Oh yeah. But I will say, wait, do I have that? I can't use that. I'll say through the say fairly loud.
Don't forget our appointment this evening. Be early.
After all, it's hatching time.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll set to getting back to the inn to catch up on the ritual and casting the spell for retaining control over the undead foul minions that she probably shouldn't be learning about just yet.
Yeah, that could go. That could go
You
south
know.
quickly.
Just put some
Maybe she
lipstick on.
loves them.
Just put some lipstick on them and make him real pretty.
I'm a
Well,
real boy now.
Here comes the interesting test with the eye, though. I want to see if the skeletons lose vision in a eye if I insert my eye in a socket.
Hmm. Is that the first thing you wish to do once you get to the inn?
I'll get back to the inn. Since we're up semi-early, is the others actually downstairs?
I would probably be.
I was gonna
all night kind of resting.
No, but would you be downstairs eating breakfast as well?
It's a bit.
Don't want to eat
It's a bit
those.
early for you guys. At least when you're spending the night in an inn, but it's up to you if you have risen up early or not.
I was going to ask about that. Is there like a yard outside, enclosed yard for the inn sort of thing?
Yes.
Drake would be there, kind of phantom training, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
Are you training with yourself?
It's kind of like practicing maneuvers and stuff like that.
So yeah, you might see Midrash arriving then. I don't know if the yard is out front or out back.
Yeah,
The yard is around back, but you can see number 2, the inn in question.
Yeah, and she
She
where did
lives
she live
over
again?
here.
Down there? Oh, there.
So there's like this, basically a gate here, or like an archway to get into the yard itself, since this is kind of like a stable. Then there's like the owner's house and quarters here.
Yeah, he'd take this path out into the main road and then up to
Yep.
Which means I'm guessing he might see me crossing through here?
Mm-hmm.
Or is this a tall fence?
It's quite tall, but it's not like you can see through cracks, so...
Yeah, so you might see Midrash heading towards the inn through the cracks of the wall there. He'll wave.
Just kind of like in a mid-spin, after kind of imagining dodging a blow coming overhead, he kind of stops as he sees you, and then sheaths his sword and then heads over. So, sleep well?
Yes, incredibly well, actually. My muscles feels like they've completely unwound. That's the best bath I had in quite some time, I assure you.
Drake just nods. She alright?
Hmm? Why shouldn't she be?
Just making sure. And then he goes, so back to the ritual casting?
Yeah, first I need to regain control over my minions, and then I'm going to finish up. Should be done by today. You want to come watch the hatching later tonight?
Sure, why not? It was interesting enough to see the first time. Actually, no. Actually, come to think of it, did
That
Drake
was
actually
the first 10 days of the downtime. You were out
Yeah, so
traveling.
no,
and
Drake wouldn't have seen it. I was in Luskan, yeah, so no, I wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah, you didn't return to where I was until the later part of the.
Sorry, I'll revise that.
The
Then.
later half of that time.
Drake, Drake, I'll revise that then. Drake goes, well, I missed it the first time, so we'll be interested to see. I've never seen this ritual, per se.
And you'll be in for a treat this time. It's going to be a red one. Should be slightly less bulky in build than Emida's here. But still very interesting.
I'm sure.
Anyways.
Drake actually puts his hand on Medrash's shoulder, and then kind of
Drake.
looks at him closely. Yeah.
You can clearly get this scent of lavender from Medrash. It's a very clear change in his scent.
Drake blinks for a moment and sniffs again. Is that lavender?
Yeah. Fantastic, isn't it? Oh, I wish I had access to amenities like this on the road. Perhaps when I'm an archwizard.
Drake kind of arches an eyebrow. Drake and then shrugs his shoulders. Well, I guess it's the simple things.
It is the simple things sometimes.
That is very true.
And Lamura is an excellent conversationalist.
I know. I enjoyed that theological debate with her, and you didn't have a name for the other guy, did you, by any chance, Tio?
Imdar.
Imdar and Limura were quite excellent conversationalists. Albeit I may have encouraged the debate a little bit, but all the more fun.
Well, it is probably part of their forte is religious leaders. I suppose that could be a fitting use. Well, local convent leaders, at least.
You would be right in saying that they are the biggest representatives in this town, so I suppose religious leaders, at least for Red Lodge, would be appropriate.
Hey, you didn't hear anything strange from SR's room during the night, did you?
You mean aside from all the yipping?
Yeah, I might have had a hand in that.
I figured you might have.
I do believe you'll find he has a new love for candles.
You may not know more.
Drake just shakes his head. Well, it may be slightly petty, but good.
Well, he interrupted me, so I figured I'd interrupt him back. Anyways, I'm gonna head inside and get to work on the spells and stuff. See if Holm is up.
Indeed.
See if SR's done anything weird to the room.
It's SR. Enough said. but yes, I think I shall go find some breakfast.
SR's room is suddenly a maze filled with traps.
Oh, we already had breakfast. Pancakes.
I wonder if they have maple syrup in this world.
If not, you can create it.
Well,
Yeah,
something
just
similar
make
at least.
Yeah. I'll go up and first knock on SR's room.
That candle burns.
What's happening?
That candle burns out after 8 hours, doesn't it? Wouldn't it be gone by now?
Yeah.
Good morning, SR. Are you up?
No, I'm still in bed. What do you want?
Oh, nothing. We're just checking back in. I'm gonna go back to my ritual now, so I'd appreciate not being disturbed the next. Well, until I have a break in the. It's the final day, after all, so, no disturbances, okay?
Alright. Do you need anything?
Oh, I've gotten everything I need.
Are you sure? Because you just knocked on my door. And you will see me kind of heading out. I mean, kind of opening the door. And you can see that I'm clearly just in a bathrobe. Kind of looking up at you.
Where's your hat?
Hmm?
You know, the long fuzzy hat with a ball on the end.
I don't have that. Can you buy me one?
Cool. Was that in the tower then? Did you leave it there? Oh, we
Yeah.
should. How long ago did we start our work on the tower?
A while.
Hey,
Uh,
we hired them for 2 months. I'm sure it'll be fine.
just a
Anyways,
question.
hmm,
What do you do a knock for?
it's polite.
To wake someone up?
Yeah. It's morning. You
I
should
don't
be
think
up.
that's polite.
I've had breakfast and
No.
everything.
What did you eat?
Pancakes.
Did you bring some?
No.
Well, that's impolite.
Well, it was in a different building. I couldn't exactly take them for the road.
Why not?
Because that's rude. It wasn't a serving place. It was a home.
Do you have a backpack?
No, I left it here.
Oh, okay. I'll forgive you this time.
I'm sure they can whip you up some pancakes downstairs.
Just before you go down.
I'm not going down.
Before you go down. I left you a present in your room.
What kind of present?
Never mind. And I close the door as I go back in. And I turn around and and start getting ready for the day.
And I'm going to head over to Holmes' room. And I'm just going to open the door.
Morning, Holm. I'm gonna let Emmett in here and play with Zeradrill. Have fun.
Destroy one destroyed room later. That's like letting two Labradors in the same room as each other. That just expect
Hey,
destruction.
he tends to sleep in a bit, so I'll tell Emidas.
Go have fun with Zeradrill. I'll be back in a while. You can follow him around if you want.
And then I'll head back to my room and find out what his present is.
Theo, I sent you a message.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
All right.
What is the present you've left me?
Midrash, you enter your room. Your
I'm not going to enter it. I'm going to open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Squad, the order is now rescinded. I'm going to return to my room. You will no longer throw out anyone who enters, and then I'll look for any corpse.
Unfortunately, there are no corpses
Dang it.
that you can see anyway.
They buried it.
Is there a turd on the floor?
No.
That's mature. Real mature.
Why would there be a turd on the floor?
I don't know. Maybe you sat
If
down
there
and
would be a
shat.
turd, it would be on your bed.
Skeletons don't.
Defecate.
Yeah.
No, I mean for SR's gift. He
I
did
don't know
say he
what
left a
you're
present.
How long do you wish to hunt for SR's present?
Not particularly long, just a glance to see if that's the what he suggests is he's shit on his floor like a common dog.
Okay, make a
It's a
perception
very
check.
common. Just waiting for the magic mouth pillow to talk to me.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's
Yep,
probably
yep.
nothing there.
You think you saw something underneath the bed for a moment, but nah, it's probably nothing. You scoot down and find just like a bundle of dust.
I'll just Yeah, it's probably a dust bunny that ran away from the door opening. You know. I'll get back to my. I'll cast my spell first, and then go back to the ritual. Actually, before I go back to the ritual, I'll also cast another spell that takes 10 minutes. I put that on the Kira.
Okay.
That could be dangerous.
Touch yourself.
Hey, it doesn't say that whoever's. If the object is attached to something, that the object also, or holder takes it. It's the one who touches that takes the damage.
Great. A certain
Besides-
someone ready to tap it.
That could also be something, but you know, you never
What's
know.
this
I might
thing
also
anyway?
die.
Tap.
What does this split into?
Everyone, touch his forehead.
Everybody queue up.
One mass suicide later.
Everyone touch each other.
Fortunately,
and then
there is
touch
a
him.
command word I can speak to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, you can
Always
put
have
it
a
on
safe
rock.
word.
Yep.
Poor Stan. Greg did not have a safe word.
No, they did reinforce the issue with him. He needs to have a
Mhm.
safe word.
Yeah.
Right.
It's unfortunate, that whole business.
Poor
So,
Stan Greg.
while Midrash is once again casting his magic, what are the rest of you doing for the majority of the day?
Well,
Would you like to head to Keldor?
are we
It's a bit-
staying in town the entire day?
Our cart still isn't ready, is it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's going to be the full day before it's...
Yep. You'll
Alright.
get it the next day, and
I will.
Midrash is ready
Onlookers.
only in the evening. So
So you can accomplish a lot of things. Or no things.
I'll be
Tio,
going to the
Mhm.
pawnbrokers to see what they have.
sure.
are there like tools that are considered tiny in size?
Yes.
Oh dear.
All right, I will
The
search
tweezers
for
Dan
where
Greg needs.
I will go search for a variety of stools and then kind of place them one beside the other.
Okay.
How many can I find? Just so I know.
Around this town,
hmm I mean, no, in the inn. I'm kind of searching
in the inn. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, 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 uh. You can find 4.
All right. So I will cast 4th level Tiny Servant on the 3 of them, and then another one at 3rd level.
Okay.
And I will start giving a performance while the stools, the order that they will be given is that every time someone comes to sit on them, they will start kind of running to the front of the person, kind of thing, and not harming the person in any way. I mean, they shouldn't like try
You
to
are
attack
gonna
or
go broke in Waterdeep.
anything.
The
Hey, I
entire
can
party
still do
distances
performances
himself.
without the magic. I'm just enjoying myself to do it. And my small mug will go around and collecting the money as I perform. I will find myself a nice spot to play, and take a chair, not a stool, and start playing.
Because no one
Trying
will
to-
suspect that it was you.
Oh, I mean, they can suspect, and I
Animated
will
mug.
I will place all 4 of the stools like near the bar, so it will be more funny.
Of course.
Yeah, it's just and I
Someone will
will
calm
kind
down for food at some point.
of,
Mhm.
not not the best of performances, but I mean,
You've
can I
had
do?
worse.
Yeah.
Are you how long are you performing?
I would give a long performance, like a good 3 hours,
Okay, so
with a break in the middle, kind of thing.
so most of the morning at least.
Mhm.
The morning rush.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Um,
Yeah.
the morning rush in the inn isn't quite as lucrative as you had probably hoped. You get 2 silver and 5 copper for your efforts.
Any junk they gave? 2 silver?
Are you accepting junk?
2 silver and what? How much copper? So just so I feel it.
5 copper.
Okay, 5 copper. We're getting rich there.
Yep.
What junk did they put in the mug? Because I can't
You
control what they put in it.
you find let's see. You find 3 buttons
Where's Kulena when I need it?
as well as some lint.
God.
You're not quite sure if it's from a pocket or a belly button.
I mean, that's a keeper. I know who wants it.
Yep.
So alright, so you said 3 buttons and a lint. I'm writing it down.
Mm-hmm.
I'll write lint question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we're not sure where the origin is from.
Yep.
So
Sure.
yeah. Just a question. Does the lint lint considered an object?
No.
Damn it! Well, I know buttons are.
They are.
Tiny servant on buttons.
Oh God, he's gonna have a tiny servant army by the end of
All the
Oh, wait until I have 9th level. You know how many tiny servants I can create with one 9th level?
Oh God.
For every
more
level
impor-
above 3rd, it's 2 more.
It's like Quelena all over again with the illusions.
No, this is much worse because these are actually going to do stuff.
I just realised something.
Hmm?
Midrash can turn buttons to look like copper, silver, and gold.
Oh. I mean, it doesn't change its weight, so as soon as someone feels the fake coin, it's not going to pass inspection.
Nor does it change the texture, just the visual. It's not going to pass visual inspection, that's for sure.
It's for each 9th level spell that I cast as Tiny Servant, it's 11 Tiny Servants that sprout.
Oh God. And I thought I was going to be crazy with animate objects if we kept Navara.
Oh no. At least Naivara would have used them for something beneficial.
Oh, don't worry. I'm planning on, once I get to having enough of them, they will actually, I'm planning on actually creating gnomish things. So they will be useful, just not in the regard that adventurers might see them as useful.
It's like that frigging weird ass Mickey Mouse movie.
Fantasia.
Yes, Fantasia.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
I loved it.
Why am I
Love
not
that movie.
surprised that you love that movie?
It's a sweet movie. What's wrong with it?
It was occasionally very trippy as well.
Yeah, just a little
That's
bit.
the part that is fun. I mean, pretty colors, and why the hell do people walk on the water and turn it into ice? God
And
knows,
then
but
there were
that's how it happens.
demons and
Yeah, that
Yeah,
too.
well,
that was
that's-
beautiful.
No.
They should
So
do a
you-
3D version of it.
So, home. What are you doing over the morning?
I'm going to.
I
grab my
will
caffeine
be.
Mhm.
First part of the morning, probably like an hour or so in the morning, I'll be studying some more. I'll have nipped down to the bar to get some food and take it back up to my room whilst I studied. And then,
Nerd.
and then I'll be going to the pawnbrokers
Oh yeah, yep.
just to see what they have.
The pawnbroker in Red Lodge has a fair amount of items which quite clearly belong to adventurers before. None of them are particularly precious, but there's some light armors, a few supposedly magical items, but
I take it
they're
the salesman's giving me the full whack.
nope. The salesman is like legs on the counter, sitting back, just kind of hanging around and reading some sort of a leaflet. The magical items are on a shelf behind very thick glass and this kind of metal mesh. And there's a big plaque above them that says magical items. And then in small print, make an offer.
No description of what they actually do.
Nope.
I'll just peruse everything and then
So
I'll look around the rest of the shop and see what
The-
other stuff he's
the
got.
magical items are a ring, a pair of spectacles, so glasses, a piece of cloth which looks to be either a robe or a cloak, and let's see, and a dagger.
Too bad Medrash isn't around.
I know, right?
Hey, it said make an offer. 1 gold.
That's what I was thinking.
Just make an offer for 1 gold for every single item and say you're a gambler.
There is also the loot box option.
Oh, let's not go down the loot box option.
You get the box for
Haven't-
free, but you get the key to the said box by paying only 50 gold.
How many items is there?
How many items? 4.
4. I'll go to the counter. Right. 1 platinum for all 4.
The bald, quite
pointed.
burly guy sitting behind the counter slowly looks up at you and barks this single laugh. The last bloke offered me an electrum, so we're going in the right direction. No.
Just in case that wasn't clear.
And then he goes back to reading his leaflet.
What's the lowest you'll take for all four?
The absolute lowest I can go 17 platinum.
How much is 17 platinum again?
170 gold.
What? 170 gold? What?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. For who?
For
He's
for
trying to
supposed
haggle
magic item.
some supposedly magical items.
Mm,
7.
7.
7 platinum. I could sell them to my grandmother with that. I'm trying to make money here. 15. As low as I can go.
12.
Now you're talking my language, but still a bit too low. Oh, I'll give them to you for 14 platinum.
Meet you in the middle. 13.
Oh, well, you're really ripping me off, but sure. He stands up and places the leaflet down, and you notice that the leaflet is with this big headline that says IOUs and you. And
IOs.
well, I got Liam with that joke. Yeah, he reaches out to shake your hand.
Don't
No, shake
shake
his
it.
hand.
It's a trap. The hand is a trap.
Nope. Better start counting those coins while I go and unlock the cabinet there.
It's all a trap.
They're all useless objects.
How dare you,
Exactly.
sir?
170 gold for magical items? I don't think so, sir.
It depends. Maybe it's a retiring adventurer that doesn't want it anymore.
Maybe it's cursed.
Oh god. Oh god, there wasn't a belt there, was there?
Maybe the magical effect is so weak you can hardly consider it a magical effect.
True. Or maybe it was made by a harpel.
We are close.
I mean,
We are very close to that city.
I mean, why wouldn't Harpel want to sell it here?
Right, so have for the glorious price of 130 gold, you have bought yourself a ring,
A mount.
spectacles, a cloak, and a dagger.
That sounds very plausible to be very magical.
Yep.
Probably an artifact level magical.
I'll hand him 3 platinum. And the rest in gold coins.
Okay. Okay, make sure to count the gold twice and the platinum 3 times.
I will deliberately make a show of counting it out in front of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he still counts it out for himself as well. Let's see. 5e useless magic items.
Roll for a table. Roll on the table. I'm sure I could find a use for them.
You never know.
I've got SR.
Yeah.
I can make anything useful.
Exactly. I'll wait till. I'll be waiting till Midrash is finished with this thing to.
Have them identified.
Yep.
Alright. Let's see. At least there wasn't a deck of cards.
Oh dear God.
I would have bought that as well.
Oh
would've bought it.
no! You do not trust any deck of cards.
Nope, we still would have bought it.
Why are you so paranoid about simple thing like a
Look at
deck
the
of cards?
cards, dude. Man.
They're just cards.
Yeah.
I've seen
What's the
this.
worst that could happen?
I've seen this.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, it's not like I gave the deck of many things to the party and it almost killed them.
Several times over.
No, just once.
Did you take
As far
that
as I
deck
know.
off him after?
What?
You take the deck off him after?
No, they kind of got it lost. I didn't do nothing with it.
By what I hear,
I
it
didn't take
wasn't
it.
exactly them who got it lost.
Well, I mean, it was kind of. I still blame the party. as
Okay.
I can.
Well, I mean, if you look at it this way, from using the deck of cards until after the deck of cards, the two characters that use the deck of cards are no longer in the campaign or being played, at least. A evil Death Knight has been gotten attention about our continent. We were tricked, or we somehow got the deed for a place that is now in the possession of the party, but it was infested with bugbears and all kinds of fun stuff.
Sounds like you
So
had
it
all
wasn't
the
all
marbles.
bad. It just cost us two characters,
Only.
I mean,
and
One
the
of them was your
innkeeper,
choice.
and the innkeeper's inn.
Home.
Yes.
Roll 4d100.
for what card you draw.
Yep, exactly that. It's always
Stomp
death.
into a cheeky cunt.
I mean, you shouldn't tell it before he draws.
Or he can't
Something
hear,
for
so
the
it's
draw.
okay. Demon can't sleep.
Well, we're closing off very shortly, so
Yep.
Yep.
You'll need 3 more of those.
a 30, a 79. Okay then.
A 0,
Zero.
huh?
That's a 1d00. No wonder it's a 0. Okay. $30, 79, 81.
Are those the winning numbers of
Yes.
the night?
I guess so. Basically the only numbers, so. Except for the 69s.
69.
Okay. Okay, well, now I know what the magic items are. Or the supposedly magic items are. Good. I guess with that, we can close off
Magic.
for the night. Yeah, supposedly magical items.
Magic items.
Yeah, we can close off for the night and I guess pick up from here for next week.
I did a lot tonight.
No, I'm away next week.
Unfortunately, you will have to
Yep.
wait for a very long time to find out what your magical items are.
Just 2 weeks.
I might just send them to you at some point. Just to taunt you.
Just slide into my DMs on Discord like, this is what you could have won.
Yeah.
Everything but the ones I've actually got.
Hope you're having a fun time filling out your visa applications. Here's your magic items.
That's just bad.
For how long
sure
are you leaving?
I'm just down there overnight.
Oh.
One night. But my bus is at 9 p.m. on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to go for the bus at 7 to actually make it there in time to get the bus. Yeah.
Not good.
Not fun.
Not fun at all.
And you're gonna miss out on the hatching.
Mhm.
Well, if
Well, I
we
guess
ever
it's
get to
okay.
that.
We won't.
I mean, honestly, I probably will next week.
You probably will. See, you didn't
Probably
even
will.
say that it's for sure.
I'm trying to usher you off to Waterdeep for you to stew in
Die.
the mess you are going to make.
I mean, I don't know what
I'm
mess you're
gonna
talking about.
compile a list of taxes and registrations and
Careful, I might enjoy
fines
myself.
and
Obsid,
Mm-hmm.
be mindful of the demon. We are streaming this.
Are you flashing your ass? Lyron.
Ah. Oh, good times. Say
We're
goodbye to the
enjoying
stream.
ourselves.
Bye,
Goodbye,
stream.
stream.
Wave.
Well, we'll be back next week. Hope to catch you then.